Good morning, Dogs fans. I'm meteorologist Ansley Parker here with UGASports.com. Now, for the past couple of days, we've had a high-pressure system that's been dominating most of the southeast region. And what that's meant for Georgia and South Carolina today is that we've seen some warmer temperatures, but some lower dew points. And what that means is that the moisture in the atmosphere is just a little bit lower, which is keeping those higher temperatures feeling nice and comfortable. The good news is if you're staying in Athens for the game today, those conditions are going to continue. Right before kickoff, we're going to see temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. And then by the conclusion of the game, we're going to heat up right around the low to mid 80s. So still going to feel nice and comfortable by the end of game time. On Sunday morning, conditions, again, are still going to be similar. So we'll be seeing conditions in the lower 60s. The great news is if you're heading to South Carolina, conditions are going to be very similar to what we have here in Athens. As you can see, around kickoff, 78 degrees. And by the conclusion of the game, similar to Athens, 84 degrees. Going to be nice and dry, a perfect opportunity to bring home a Dogs win.
There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the UJ Sports watch-along show with Coach Donnan, Dayne Young, myself, Radi Nabulsi. We're getting ready to watch Georgia take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. First SEC game for Georgia. Georgia's 2-0. Want to make it 3-0 by the end of the day. Hopefully not get anybody hurt. We broke some news yesterday that A.D. Mitchell will not be in the game. William Poole is not going to be there. Reed Gilbert's not going to be there. But, Coach, you still looks to me like you're going over there with enough guys to beat a South Carolina team that's missing some players.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first conference game, and you never know exactly how your players are going to, especially the new guys. But we're going to be counting on some new players today. Without A.D. Mitchell, our big gun out there at wide receiver on the split inside, they'll use a lot of different ways to help out.
Who takes his spot?
We got Rosemey that can play there. We got Bell, we got Meeks, and then we got the ability to put Bowers out there in a condensed formation when we've got he and Washington in the game at the same time. But this is just a place where, over the years, Georgia's had some good games and some bad games. I had a really good game over there one year, but one really bad one I'll never forget. We threw the ball at them more than we did ourselves. So that's what happens when you get an upset. But we've got some physical places where I think we can get some mismatches on them. And I think the real key today is how Rattler plays. If he's on like he can be, he could give us some trouble. But the one thing that I read what you said about Georgia might do, I think we'll let the dogs out of the house today on the pass rush and see if they can protect against us and put our guys on an island out there and make them cover one-on-one. But
didn't Van have like 200 yards last year?
Yeah, they had a receiver, Van. I was asking Schumann about it. That was really good last year, and he's only caught about one or two passes. They got a transfer in from James Madison named Wells that's been the deep threat, and they've got Stogner from Oklahoma as a tight end that's helped them a lot. They throw a lot of underneath passes, a lot like not exactly like Sanford, but they more like probably Oregon, but then once in a while they take some deep shots. So we just got to, get our defense in the flow. But I really think what's going to be exciting today is the way Todd Monken breaks out the running game with all the different motions and the looks that we got. They gave up 300 yards rushing last week against the Arkansas Razorbacks. So I think you'll see a lot of good running today from our team. And hopefully Stetson will keep playing at the level he's been playing, very efficient. And our kicking game is coming on. Pod had a good week. Punter's got some experience. Kirby's got a little burr in his saddle now. I mean, he'll get after this.
But I thought they're friends.
I mean, they're cordial. It's just a case of
they're colleagues. We're colleagues.
I don't know that what the situation is for sure there, but
they shake hands at Lake Oconee, but maybe they're not at the same barbecue.
I just know that
same barbecue. Yeah, I like it.
The way Kirby recruits and the way he works at it, you'd have to think that if you were an assistant coach, you could sign one player in 3 years, and he never signed. He was in on Luke Ford and was helping us on us, but he left, and then Kirby and Cheney closed the deal. But he did bring that walk-on punter from North Carolina, and what was his name? He never got the punt.
Oh, yeah,
much,
that's
but,
right. I remember that.
But hey, things happen. You can't, but you could sign at least one, couldn't you?
You could. Everyone's predicting the line on this game, Dane, if I'm not mistaken, is like 24 points, 24 and a half.
I'll take it.
24 is what I saw.
Okay, a lot of people are predicting Georgia to go over that. I was telling guys before the game started, my Munson-itis comes on me. The closer game time gets, I get worried.
You should.
Because I've been to this stadium and weird crap happens at Williams-Brice Stadium. Our first show was a weird loss to South Carolina. It was in Athens. It was weird. Playing South Carolina is weird. Everyone's expecting an absolute Georgia blowout, which if everybody predicts one way, sometimes weird things happen. So
exactly.
Hey, I'm going to interrupt you because we have our first super chat already. That's
nice.
So cool. Kirk Spears, thanks for doing that. He has a question for Coach Donnan. He says the 70-man travel squad really hurts the road team. Why does that rule exist? Is it a financial thing? And then he says, go Dogs, and thanks for the show. Thank you, Kirk.
Thanks, Kirk.
Hey, it's total bullshit. I mean, that's the only way to say it. I mean,
tell us how you really feel, Coach.
I mean, with the plethora of there's more people. I guarantee you, they got more assistant athletic directors and auxiliary people going to the games than they do players. I'm all for all those people. You understand? But I think that if you want to take 80 players, you ought to be able to take them. And it's supposed to be for saving money. But good Lord, look what the SEC is bringing out and paying these different
$45 million a year.
It's a total BS deal. I mean, I think if a guy's on scholarship and he's worked hard, he ought to be able to go to the game. And he hurt some kids' feelings. I mean, some of the guys, there's just the difference is that he might be a special teams player and the other one isn't, And
right.
We had to do the same thing in 1AA when we played the playoffs. We could only have 56 guys dress, and that was for saving money, And it just drive me crazy because you didn't know who your second team punter would be, I had a punter one time get sick during the game, and I had to have a kid come in that never had punted before. And I mean, you could lose a championship just like that. And then,
well, why not limit the home team too?
Well,
you get 70 guys. They got 70
I think
guys.
It's just.
So how many does the home team get?
Unlimited. I mean, they can dress out everybody, Beamer's kids, if they wanted to. It's just. Let's don't talk about it. I'm in a good mood right here. And I think, Kirk, I appreciate you doing that super chat. And anybody wants to do that, it's good because Radi putting out a lot of money for different kind of cameras and a new set we're going to have next weekend. But let me just tell you this. Our kids understand what this team is all about this Georgia team. They know how to work. They know how to prepare. They work hard against each other. I mean, you're going to have some games where you're going to have some adversity. I mean, it's too. You look at all these pro teams now that have one loss. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's hard to win every game, but
Coach
for South Carolina to come out on top today, we're going to have to really play badly and make some critical errors and give them some Christmas presents.
Yeah,
because in my mind, it's a total mismatch. As far as the number of good players, and it's not Beamer's fault. He just got there. They had a lot of guys transfer out when Muschamp left, and they've had some guys that have hung on. Marshawn Lloyd is a really good back. Rattler is a quarterback that we'll watch today. You watch him; he's if he's got the protection, he'll be good. If he doesn't, he'll throw it up and he'll try to roll out to the right, and we'll be waiting on him. So.
You put a spy on him?
No, he's not any threat. Only way he runs if it's wide open. He's not a runner.
Yeah,
I would love.
I said the exact same thing.
I would love for him to run today. That would make me feel good.
I said the same thing, that when he sees a wide open spot, he takes off to it, but he's not a great scrambler. But if you kind of know his tendencies, you're like, you're just trying to get that pressure.
And my whole deal with him is, and I'm trying to not be shaded, but when a guy played at Oklahoma like he did, and my ties with Oklahoma are good, not like they are here, but he chapped my ass at Oklahoma. Now, I mean, he really hurt our team. And then Caleb Williams came in there and just took over the job. But and he was highly recruited kid. They're talking about him being an NFL quarterback. He could be. I don't know. He's got an arm.
Got the arm.
Got an arm, but he's
His head everywhere else, though.
But it's one of those deals like it's never his fault. You watch him on the sideline. If things are going good, he's hunky dory over there. If things are going bad, man, he gets into the soul mode. So I hope he's soul to the max today.
Hey, let me do a little producer housekeeping. One, if you're watching this, thanks for doing so. The biggest thing you can do is help us help this thing grow. So that means if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Because of shows like this, we've become the most popular Georgia Bulldogs-centric YouTube channel that is out there. It's really cool how we've grown in the last few years. It's because of you all that are watching. So please do that. Share with your networks. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you like this page that you're watching it on. Follow us on Twitter. You can do all the things just that are free. One little click. It actually does help us a lot to share this on your networks. All right, that's number one. Number two, shout out to Athens, Georgia Weather for our intro where you got a specific forecast for this game, whether you're going to it or whether you're in Athens. Those are students from Georgia's Atmospheric Sciences program at UGA. We've partnered with them this year. So on our YouTube page, check out the content they're doing because they're going to be really good professionals in that space. And then, Radi, we have some beautiful, wonderful sponsors that make this possible because this is a production.
Yes.
There's a lot of moving parts here, and we need to make sure our partners get the love that they deserve.
Yeah, before the action starts, and folks, we will count you in on where we are on the game clock, so you can be sure to sync up with your TV with our broadcast. So if we're saying, hey, it's 14:43, 14:42, 14:41, that's telling you what the game clock says. And if you look on your TV and you're at 13:58, well, pause your TV a little bit. And if we're ahead of what you're watching, if you're streaming it, pause us for a little bit and sync them up. Big shout out to Yancey Brothers. They gave us these cool mugs. Coach has a oil filter there. We got a
no oil in here. Just
there's oil in there, just a different kind. And of course, you can actually go to the Yancey Brothers shops and you can get cool Caterpillar stuff. Now, Yancey Brothers, they sell Caterpillar tractors and bulldozers and all that stuff. They also employ tons of people. We got a great story we're going to share later in the show about how they work with people in the state of Georgia, but they have openings all over the state. Right now, they have 211 openings, and we're going to tell you how to get those, but they need diesel technicians, truck technicians, maintenance technicians. They need salespeople. They need managers. They need a ton of them. 202 positions all over the state. We'll tell you about them later. Of course, I'm drinking Bud Light. It's going to be a Bud Next from Bud Light. It's a fantastic beer. You really got to try it because if you're trying to watch your weight and you like beer, say you're doing Atkins or something like that, you're doing low carb, it's 0 carbs. So hit up the Bud Light Next when you get a chance. And of course, I also want to shout out to Athens Ford. They are a great sponsor of us. They sponsor not only this show, they sponsor our website. They also sponsor our Tuesday podcast. And we've sent a couple people out there to buy Ford Broncos. Let's send about 30 million more people to buy Ford Broncos from Athens Ford. Hit them up when you get a chance. So shout out to our sponsors. And the game's about to start. They're about to do the whole reveal, the giant chicken thing, and the teams will run out. Coach, you mentioned Will Muschamp a second ago. Was the head coach there? Do you think he's got a little burn in his saddle too?
Yeah, it's always tough when you got to go back against your either your alma mater or a team where you've coached. But at the same time, you got to separate those emotions and do what you can to get your own team ready. And
right.
As Kirby has mentioned several times in his press conferences, Will has been a really big addition to our staff because he's been an SEC head coach, a lot like Matt Luke, but maybe a little longer. And he
2 different places.
He gives you a different perspective sometime when you need it because you don't want a bunch of yes men around you. But I don't know that we've ever had that. But certainly adding him and also just the enthusiasm that he brings back there. I mean, he's a very
Coach Boone.
He gets after him, but I think a really good example is Malachi Starks, a true freshman. Although he's a tremendous athlete, but you can see the coaching that he's gotten between the spring and the fall. The way he came in as just a pure puppy knowledge-wise, and now he's very confident playing several positions, and that's definitely athleticism, but it's also coaching to get the best out of your young players. A lot like
he looked what he was Dayne Jackson.
Yeah, well, he did a good job with him. But the other thing is when you look at Michael Williams, the way he's developed there in the line we've got 2 freshman starters on defense. I think Kirby probably held our team till they came out. Now, so they see it. Now we're coming out. So traditional uniforms. This is a business trip. Everybody wants to know if Georgia going to wear all white, all that stuff.
No,
we came out with and you told everybody. Did you?
I told everybody because when I showed you that tweet of the eyeball thing, and maybe a lot of people thought of it, you kind of rolled your eyes like they're not going to change. But I did made some calls, found out that they're going to come out in their regular dress uniform or regular away uniforms. Kirby Smart is not going to do some, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but he's not going to change something for an away SEC game.
All right. Maybe he did go with the red pants against Arkansas a couple years ago, but I think I like the game jerseys they're wearing, the coaches' shirts. I like those. I mean, I'm going to have to give me one of those.
Yeah, just swing over. You know some people over there. So.
Yeah, I might have to put one on at halftime.
Hey, I want to read this tweet from Will Brand. He says, talking about Yancey Brothers.
Will Brand?
Will Brand. He says, that's a good company. My dad retired from Yancey Brothers after 30 years in sales a couple years ago. That company gave our family a lot over the years. So
good for you, Will. I appreciate that heads up. And one of the things we like to do on this show, this is for Georgia people. I mean, if you're for another team, that's okay. But, we got to all hang together and scratch each other's back. And it certainly helps us to have the support of Bud, the people at Leon Farmer's Place there, and also Athens Ford. And
thanks,
now
Brian Clover.
We're doing a great job here trying to give you. I shouldn't bat ourselves, but we try to give you insight into what's happening. It's a little bit different than, although you got 2 of the best in the business doing the game there, and my good friend Sean McDonough and Todd Blackledge, both great.
They are good.
Great reporters, and they do.
We're better.
Yeah, I mean,
Coach, you're a popular person. Justin Hart asked, "Did I see Coach Donnan at the Braves game last night?"
I was right there, baby. I mean, and my ass was dragging this morning now, but I made it back. I went over there with a couple of my good friends here, the Holga Books, to kind of give them a reward. They were so good to my grandchildren, and my good friend over there set us up, and Trey Workman works for the Braves, and we were able to go. And I met my daughter Tammy, who's actually going to London on Wednesday to watch the Laver Cup. So I got to see her.
All right, Georgia's about to kick off. Jackpot Lesney, toe meets leather, and we are away in Columbia. As Radi said, you'll hear us count down the clock as we see it, so you can sync it up, speed up your feed, or slow us down, whatever works best for you. We'll occasionally you'll just hear us counting down 15, 14, 59, etc.
So one thing you don't take for granted is a pressure kick like that. But Leslie comes right out there and booms it out of the end zone. Let's see what kind of heat Georgia's able to put on Rattler today, and what they think they can do formation-wise against us. I hope we get all 22 here pretty quickly. They got a bunch set here. It's like they're trying to throw some kind of bubble screen.
Yeah, Pop's working with Malachi Starks, trying to get him where he wants him to be. I mean, Chris Smith. Pop's out in coverage.
There's that tight end we're talking about. Yeah. Those guys work together well out at Oklahoma.
So even in the first play, though, you saw a bit more time in the pocket for a quarterback than Georgia's seen in the first 2 games. That should bode well for Georgia to get some pressure.
Georgia's still staring at the sideline, Coach.
What's that?
So Georgia's they're making a lot of adjustments, both sides.
Well,
that chess match. Here comes a little heat from Pop.
That's what you want to see right there.
So he lined up over the tight end or the slot and came in.
What was that?
Pop came in off the edge.
Yeah.
Who's he lined up over?
he's out there on the back, and we switched between the safety and him and gave him a different look.
Yeah.
You don't expect the linebacker to come off the outside there, particularly when he's an inside. Usually, Pop is an inside guy. We're playing a lot of nickel right here, and 4-man front. I hope they try to run right here.
They did.
God, we got to make the tackle.
Yeah.
You got about 7 yards. 14-13, 14-12, 14-11, 14-10, first quarter.
Georgia tried to recruit Marshawn Lloyd. He
They did.
signed with Will Muschamp and then hurt his knee his first spring there, and came back last year and had a fairly decent. This is where we got to win third down. I think they're trying to be too cute here with their play calls. They're going down too long, but we'll see.
They're a huddle team. They're running a lot of clock.
I thought Carter's supposed to be hurt. Just kidding. They got
he's
Wildcat.
Wow.
Hey,
there's Nolan Smith in there bringing the pain.
That was terrible call right there.
Yeah.
I mean, they went to a Wildcat. If I'm a South Carolina fan, I got to be
on 3rd and 6.
And you got Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
Now it's 4th and 4.
They're going to punt. Give them a bad snap.
13-12, 13-11.
Pretty good series by Georgia, really. I mean, the first ball was a good throw, but,
But they're going to give that up. Keep everything underneath you.
We're on a safe return here.
Yeah.
Punts in the air, 13, 12:59.
Oh, my goodness.
12:58. And return for
I like the fact he took it.
Yeah.
Guys got a lot of confidence. Lad McConkey, just a really good player for us. I look for Georgia to come out in 2 tight end sets here with Washington and Bowers. We really like every game, the last 5 or 6, we run some kind of funky on the first play. I don't know. It could be a yo-yo play or, where you do, flea flicker but
let's check the receivers on the field because as Radi reported yesterday, A.D. Mitchell not on this trip.
Guards are similar. That's an early snap. He wasn't ready for that.
Oh.
He snapped the ball early before we even called the snap count.
Yeah.
Greg that he was looking at, that's the kind of stuff that's the kind of stuff that you can't have.
Yeah.
I mean, got to catch that ball.
Yeah. Come on, Kieras.
See, we're a little settled down here. First play was a mistake. You don't want to beat yourself, especially backed up here.
Yeah. That's Xavier Truss at left guard. I tell you, Rattler's your right guard, like you said. All right, Lad McConkey, good little.
Another ref won't even give you a spot.
So 3rd and 1.
We're going to get up there quick. Go fast is what Kirby's saying.
12:25, 12:24, 12:23.
I can see Bennett keeping this. Nice. Got some good movement, but let's go fast right here and catch them.
So
Georgia overcame a really bad first play, and those are kind of things when you're backed up you got to be careful about.
Yeah. So
I can tell you this, they can't cover us.
That traditional handoff there, Kirby was talking about some of that you guys call passes, we call run plays.
There's a pass.
I was just about to ask.
Pass to Bowers.
I was just about to ask that. So, can we call that a run, or is
that's a run? I mean, one of the things that I know
it was 2 yards.
Yeah, that's one of the things I know is in our package this week is get that guy a football. A really good perimeter block in there.
Yeah. Well, Kendall Building and Marcus Roseby Jack Saint setting up a wall around the edge there.
Go get him, Monk. Could be play action here. There it is.
There it is. You called
Didn't
it.
throw it very well.
No.
Still a good gain.
That's another run, really.
I was trying to figure out who that was at the bottom of the screen on the first snap, Coach. That was Dylan Bell.
Coach, you know that Georgia can't run the ball anymore. They pass too much.
Those are all runs there.
Right. But shout out to Dylan Bell for getting a start.
This is a good way. I think Rosemary started the first play. Maybe Bell did. Let's argue about it. Go play action here.
10:50, 10:49. There's the fake. Lob. There's a lot of space there, Coach. Look at that downfield blocking by Kyrus Jackson.
What did I say about play action?
You did say, let's go play action here, and they did it. I made a threat on Twitter that I would do a shot every time you called the play before it happened, but everybody figured I'd die. So
you just can't make a play like that unless you're slick. You see him.
That was very.
And look at great. That's
That's
a Velcro block. They get a Velcro on that.
So that play is using their tape to their advantage. Sometimes McConkey hits that as a backside block, and it's a run.
Nice right here. Nice. I like those 5-yard bombers.
It looked like Georgia had 9 offensive linemen going through that B gap, Coach. Keep running behind Ratledge. I love it. He's a good kid. All right, 9:56, 9:55, 9:54, 9:53. Folks, if you got questions, put them in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching it from. And please share this with your friends.
And don't judge me for in the description still having Georgia versus Oregon because I'm an idiot.
You got it right here. Look at that weak side. Oh, get a block. It's a way to keep running.
It's fixed now, though, because I'm a producer. 9:28, 9:27.
All right, Coach. Hope Skelton wants to know, how do you fix this 4th and goal mess? You're not quite there, but there have been some. Last week we had some red zone issues. Now you're 3rd and 1.
Yeah, they were 3rd down, but 4th down. We've worked hard on we've got a power running game set for this week. There's some good stuff, like right here. Good job.
Look at this. There it is. Okay.
Patient running.
But what we did there was give them a bunch set to give the idea that you could throw out of it. Then they crisscrossed their blocks and they screwed up it. But let's go on and finish it up here and just take a mash deal here.
I'm going to give Darnell Washington credit for a great block there to see that.
I tell you, Darnell's had a great fall and has really got a lot of confidence. And he likes to catch these little balls over the middle here. Throw it up there where he can climb the ladder.
A lot of space at the bottom of the formation. Well, he came back, though. He didn't use the space I talked about, just everything else.
Okay. You got to give Stetson Bennett a little credit there for his block, too. That was
There's no 65 in there on the play, too. Mims.
I mean, theme of that drive, get the ball in Brock Bowers' hands any way you can.
Yeah. Now watch that. Look at that block. We need a clip of Stetson Bennett knocking this guy on the ground.
On it.
That's your basic 93-yard march. We had one bad play. It was our own fault.
Are you saying that only Georgia can beat Georgia?
I mean, in this game, I am. Would have declared his sentence. I think we asserted ourselves pretty well with Bowers on that.
Yeah.
Look at that block on the perimeter by Rosemy. Our receivers are blocking, man.
Rosemy blocking for Bowers worked out for Georgia in the national
So did
championship.
Mims just come in on the goal line? Did anything happen to McClendon, or did McClendon start?
That's what I'm looking for right now. This was. Trying to check that out. Well, you check on that. I want to mention one. Our friends over at Bud Light Next.
Do you want me to play their commercial?
Yeah, play their commercial real quick.
Ooh, I should have had that up before I asked it. Here we go. Stand by.
Zero carbs beer is here. Introducing Bud Light Next. 0 carbs, 80 calories. Super crisp light beer. Bud Light Next. Brewed for what's next.
So as our producer shows you a nice commercial from Bud Light Next, I'm going to point out that it took them 10 years to come up with that beer. 0 sugar, only 80 calories, 0 carbs. You can try the Bud Light Next. It's fantastic beer. It's noon on a Saturday. That doesn't mean you can't drink beer, but maybe you don't want anything that's going to make you fat, make you tired, slow you down. So try the Bud Light Next. You can drink them, again, 80 calories a pop. You can have a ton of these throughout the day. So you can go straight from this game into the 3:30 game, into that. You want to watch that Texas A&M game with Max Johnson later?
Yeah.
So see how Max does any of the games throughout the day, and you can keep hitting these Bud Lights. But I'm telling you, folks, it's a fantastic beer. So if you want to have kind of that seltzer stats, but with Bud Light beer taste, try what's next. So hit them up when you get a chance. What'd you find out about the on the O line there, Coach? I want to call out the perimeter. Talking about it the whole way down there. You saw Kieran Jackson drive. You saw Marcus Roseby Jackson.
Dylan Bell.
Black Conkey. I think that was him. But anyway, those short runs got longer and longer. I mean, they went for longer and longer because safety.
Wait, you're saying Georgia can run the ball?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's really impressive to me, without giving them too much kudos right now, is just the confidence they're playing with and the execution. There's some ball handling things there, like Stetson jumping around that end and throwing the ball when he could have had a loss on first down, and then the play action pass to McConkey where he just dumped it over the guy. And then, a lot of times when you run a double reverse, the first guy that gets the ball doesn't hand the ball right to the other guy. And that was just perfect. I mean, it couldn't have been more couldn't have been more efficient. You know what I mean? As far as the misdirection part, I'm telling you, people are geared up on the goal line for you to come after them and all, and then you run a little double reverse on the goal line. I mean,
that's a great answer drive. That stadium is one of the loudest places you can go when they're playing Sandstorm and everybody's got towels going on. It's good for you to all of a sudden take a quick drive, or take the first drive, run it down their throats, and take the crowd out of it a little bit.
Yeah, here's the other thing too is gives your defense a little more. All of a sudden you're South Carolina and you're playing against a team that hasn't given up a touchdown all year, and you're going to press a little bit, maybe take some chances, and that's what we got to do. We got to get them in the second and third and long, win first down on defense. That's going to be the real key for us.
And is there Stackhouse and Zion Logue in the game? There's a little pressure, Coach.
Yep.
Got to be careful. Take him to the ground there, Dumas Johnson. Last week they called unnecessary roughness, or was it? Or that was the first game, whichever game it was, on tackling too meanly. Don't be mean when you tackle. Smile Mond and Robert Beal also in the game.
We'll rotate them in and out.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning. Stackhouse and Logan there.
They doing too much. They're not going to mess us up with that.
739, 738.
Oh, nice ball.
You didn't get him. They threw it on their freshman, sophomore. It went on the right guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy we talked about pregame, Wells. He's a deep threat, and you get that much time. It's just poor collision at the line of scrimmage. Poor. He was beaten right up the line.
Yeah. So Kamari Lasser gets beat for a long ball there, but that's a great throw by Spencer Rattler. You talked about he had the arm.
He's a great deep passer.
He had time, and he put it right on the money.
Some kind of bubble screen here.
705, 704, 703.
They go right back at Kamari Lasser, Coach.
That time they did something that Georgia does. They got in a 3-by-1, but they put their big tight end out of the split side and tried to hit the slant to him.
Yeah.
And pretty good throw. Got to get a lost yardage play, get them out of field goal range.
Yeah. So clock sitting at 7. It stopped on the incomplete pass.
Trying to throw back.
Yeah, they're trying to. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Take it on to the house. Go on, Malachi Jefferson. Throw it up, Spencer.
My God, a freshman.
We said in the 3-2-1, if he gets pressured, he's liable just to throw a ball up for grabs, and that's exactly what he did.
It wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
I give him credit. He threw a great ball on that one to Wells, but
He did.
that one right there was Jed Clampett.
I thought you were going to say he threw a great ball to Malachi Starks. I thought that's
He
where you
led
were
him
going.
just right. This is just smart freshman football player right
Look,
there. Played his man all the way. Just really smart.
A guy in his face, and he throws the INT.
We didn't get a block in the back either.
He does get to drive the guy out of. He tackles Malachi Starks out of bounds, but Malachi gave him a little.
How about
Hey,
this
here's
for
your ball back. Thank you.
Malachi? He's already had 2 interceptions
Jesus,
as a freshman.
He almost had 4. Go back to
Yeah.
that game last week. There were 2 that went through his hands. He
Yeah.
wasn't going to drop that one, Coach. So
I mean, that was in the breadbasket. I mean, Rattler.
hey, I want to mention our friends at Athens Ford. If you want to bring them up real quick, I'd really appreciate it. Folks, I feel bad because sometimes I don't get to talk about Athens Ford as much as I'd like to because there's no drama there. They do such good work. But I did want to mention the fact that they have, on average, around the last few weeks, had like 250 cars on the lot. And that's not a guesstimate. That's not a
They snagged some more in there. I'm looking at it on the screen now.
how many they got now?
284.
That's fantastic. Point being,
And they've been selling too.
yeah,
so
I've seen
good on
them. Seen them have over 1,000, but I've also seen a ton of places throughout North Georgia. You know, I drive all over the place. I've been to other cities in North Georgia. I've been to cities in Atlanta. You drive by these car lots, and they're ghost towns. I mean, I think they have the salesmen parking their cars out front just to make it look like they got stuff on the lot. But their friends at Athens Ford, they actually have vehicles in stock. They have new ones. They have pre-owned. They have the certified pre-owned. And people say, well, you know, there's a Ford dealership in Conyers I can go to. There's one in Athens. There's one wherever. Come to Athens. Go to Athens Ford. They're huge Georgia fans. They support Georgia fans all the way. Ford F-150, greatest selling truck in American history. Point being, hit them up. You come get the lifetime powertrain warranty. In other words, if you have a problem with your new vehicle, the powertrain on it's covered forever. Even if you get a pre-owned vehicle, if it's one of the, as long as it's not one of like the German car, something like that, swing by, get one that's under 80,000 miles, and you'll also get a lifetime powertrain warranty on it. So even it doesn't have to be a Ford; it can be any of their pre-owned vehicles. So hit them up; they will take care of it. And then, of course, if you need any service, any parts, if you like to trick out your truck and you want to get all the cool custom pieces that you can't get anywhere else, they have a specialty parts department for that. You know, so you can do all the neat stuff. And of course, you can walk in and see the new Broncos. We had Ryan go buy a Bronco. We've got another guy that's going to buy a limited edition Bronco coming out. So check out our friends at Athens Ford when you get the shot.
Here is a question from Boston Dog. Can Coach remember a freshman safety more impressive than Malachi Starks?
Kirby Smart. No,
Well,
Champ Bailey played safety for us for a little while and then moved in the corner. But I mean, just the impact he's made on our team and the confidence. Losing a guy like Lewis Seen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, first round draft choice, and he's come in here and making the same kind of plays. He's more of a cover guy than Seen. Maybe not the tackler, but he's aggressive enough tackling. And this is where they should have never had a timeout here, a TV timeout. We had the momentum now, and we've had too much time to think about it. I'm worried about we might try to be too funky here. There's Muschamp telling them about the coverage, which is good.
Coach, that was Spencer Rattler's 4th interception in his 3rd game as a Gamecock.
645, 644, a little swing pass.
More tight end blocking. Oh, he ran.
Darnell. Oh,
It's like a run. I mean,
Mark Hopkins says, Coach Don and I have a photo of you as a young boy sitting on your granddad's knee. Margaret Templeton says hello.
well, I appreciate that. The Templeton family. My grandmother was a Templeton, and very proud of that heritage. All right, look at that quarterback. Run out of bounds. Go ahead. That's exactly what Kirby told him to do. That's a 9-yard run, though, isn't it?
Do you like when
Yes,
the
sir.
quarterback holds the ball out as they're crossing over, or is that a risk? I don't know. I'm asking.
As long as the guy's got his stomach on it. I don't like it holding out when there's
Yeah, he
nobody
held it
there.
like that. You know,
Monken just trying to figure out which buffet play he's going to run here. 2nd 1, boy. That's one of the play caller's best buddies.
What do you call it?
McClendon's back in. I think we'd probably run the ball here. I would. I mean, we've been throwing this, but he might try to hit a little wheel route to Bowers down the boundary.
Well, there's your run.
That's good.
So,
Hard not to run it on 2nd 1 when you got only 20 yards to go.
see, Broderick Jones.
Well, we shouldn't have to apologize for running the ball.
No.
Let's just be patient here. Are they going to send you that picture, or they say they got the picture?
Hey, Mark, if you have that photo and want to send it to me, you can use my work email, dayne@uga.edu, DAYNE@uga.edu.
Oh, I like this.
Oh, that's a nifty move. Oh,
Mr. Touchdown!
give him the Heisman.
He scored from that? That's insane.
The guy can't play quarterback. He's not the winner.
He's mediocre, Coach. He never had a 300-yard game.
I mean, that play right there is serious football.
It's going to be out of bounds.
He's out.
Don't care. It's still an impressive play.
Too bad. We needed that touchdown.
That's
2 times on this series that we've let him run the ball, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go. It's that 2-yard line. We'll probably come in with our Burma Road, put Carter in there and run off left tackle. But, just for the people out there, I'm the 3rd, James M. Donnan the 3rd. So my granddaddy, they called him Jim. My dad, they called him Jim. So when I was a little kid, they called me Don.
Yeah, you told me that.
And so the Templetons all know me as Don. Kirby getting on for holding the ball out there too much. He's doing
like that. You did it twice. Don't do it again.
So anyhow, I got tired of it, and I said, I want to be called Jim. That's my name. And so after I was 4, they started calling me Jim. So now people call me Bull. A lot of bad names.
I call you a lot of bad names.
I would have liked for him to get that touchdown, but
well, he could still.
And I get excited about him doing that stuff because I love quarterback runs. I mean, just because it puts so much pressure on your defense, I mean, after review, he stepped out of bounds on the 2-yard line.
He said exactly what you called. It's almost like you've coached this game once or twice.
No, please put Carter in there. Go in there and line up and run off left tackle. Let's see what happens here.
It was just such nifty change of direction for Stetson Bennett on 2 occasions to avoid getting tackled there.
So here we go. We're going to line up and come out of the huddle late.
Delp's in there.
They're not showing us much here on Wiki. Come out of the huddle quick. Get out of the way, refs.
What?
So refs out of the way. Break the huddle
You got
quick.
the clock going. You don't need to.
Right tackle.
Yeah.
And it was right tackle, and it's a touchdown.
Hey, like I said, run behind 69.
Kirby, go for 2.
Can we call it 69 and a half? Go between 69, take Ratledge and 70, Warren McClendon.
Nice.
That's efficient football there. You'd like to be able to score off for turnover. Shane, what are you going to do?
There's a clip. Shane Beamer shaking his head. I don't have an answer for you. I'm loving this shot. You know how the quarterbacks and running backs will have that white towel?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody want to hand Shane one of those, and he can just start.
Well, I was worried about a bad start, but right now it could. You just never know. But if they'd have gotten something going there, that'd have really helped them. But
yeah, there's still a lot more of the game. Y'all know I'm not going to be confident until Georgia's up by 50. But
our kids really like Stetson. I guess it's because he's a lot older than them.
He can buy him beer and rent a car. and get a mortgage on a house.
The thing
And run for
about
president.
the thing from a coaching perspective that Stetson brings your team now is a lot more fundamental based stuff with the routine plays because you work with the guy. You know,
Right.
I mean, for the fans that aren't really into Georgia, the last 2 years when he's come in at quarterback, he's been like a relief pitcher. He hasn't practiced with the first or second team, and then during the season he got progressively better. You saw the last 2 games because he spent more time with the first team.
Yeah.
But all spring, all summer, all the fall practice, and just a phenomenal rate of completion so far this year. What is he, over 80% or something?
Well, right now he's 5 of 6 for 75 yards. That's an 83% completion rate. That's just today, but yeah, it's about 80% of the year. Right now, if you look at it compared to all Georgia quarterbacks, he's number 2 on the all-time list behind Hudson Mason. So, but I do want to touch on the point you said. We asked him about this. You know, what is it like being number 1? And he mentioned, well, when I'm, you know, they were doing like some of their 7-on-7 stuff, but he says when Ladd McConkey drops his elbow back, I know, you know, when he's about to turn or something like that. And with A.D. Mitchell, it's almost as if each wide receiver coach has a tell, not either at the line of scrimmage or on their route, that he recognizes, and like, I need to release it when, you know, A.D. Mitchell drops his hip or his head bobs, you know, and that's when I know he's going to be here. And when you come in after not having any snaps with the number 1 offense, and you come in against Arkansas cold, you haven't done any of those snaps, and you're basically running, I don't call them generic plays, but plays that they're comfortable that you know and the receivers know, and it's not going to be as high powered as this. Plus, I mean, we're seeing it when you can run it. What's the defense do now? The South Carolina, they're like, well, damn it, we got a running quarterback. How do we stop him?
And over there right now, he's got big Darnell Washington putting his arm around him. Hey, don't forget me, man. He said, I got a mouth to feed too. You know, so far we've had Kieras touch it, Brock a couple times.
Ladd McConkey's got 2. Brock was 1. Kenny McIntosh has a catch. Kieras, like you said. Stetson Bennett is your leading rusher right now, Coach.
Yeah, that's good.
Kendall Milton has 4 carries. Kenny has 2, and Brock has that 1 that went in for a touchdown.
We've got about 70 yards. How many rushing yards we got?
Rushing yards, 51.
And passing, 70?
74. For comparison, South Carolina has 7 yards rushing and 59 yards receiving.
Yeah, 50 on one play almost.
Yeah.
Wells was like 40-some yards.
46. So
here's the thing. We just got to be really aware of the fact that they're going to try to take some deep shots. So we got to. I don't know that
you call off the pressure now, and
no, I just don't know if Lassiter can play press coverage on that guy down after down. He's got to mix it up a little bit, you know. Polesnik is just kicking the dang ball, man. He's almost hitting the hedges back there. He's got a confidence factor right now that really is good.
He got a lot of work last week.
He had 4 field goals last week, a bunch of touchbacks. The .8 PATs. I like it.
All right, let's be good here.
All right, let's see.
4:42 in the first quarter. Georgia leads 14-0. South Carolina staying on the ground.
Great
tackle
there.
Pop.
Woof.
Because that cutback was there.
There was a lot of open ground before he would have run into anybody else.
That's why he did it.
Yeah, if he hadn't stopped him, that would have been a.
Got some good athletes out there.
2nd and 7 for South Carolina. Game clock as we see it. 4:15, 4:14, 4:13.
I need to go back and see if Sandage is on that team still. That was another big recruiting battle.
Keep it, Spencer.
Nolan Smith was all on that.
It looked good when they drew it up.
Yeah.
Going to be 3rd and 5.
Look at Nolan Smith run to that spot. Oh, was that the play before?
Technique. Look at him.
Yeah.
Kept his shoulders square. Once you turn your body, you're dead. But you see him kind of shuffle with his shoulders square and hands out.
All right, 3rd and 6. The money down.
They got Wells lined up on Kamari Lassiter again. Stacking their receivers.
Pass to the running back.
Got him.
Wow, there's the pressure.
Oh, there's a penalty flag.
Mike Held just seared through that line.
Freshman. Oh, God, the freshman.
Left side on the screen.
I called a pass to the running back, but I didn't think it was going to be that. I thought it was going to be a designed one there. No penalty, coach.
It's good.
There's a fake punt, and it's complete.
Shit.
Maybe that should be the quarterback.
Give him credit for doing it. I don't blame him.
Yeah, got to do something. I was asked, what does South Carolina need to do to win this game? And I used the same formula for every upset. It's going to be penalties, special teams, and turnovers. So here's one of the special teams.
Give that guy a little credit. He looked off the defense and threw it back. That was well-conceived play. Hey, that's what you got to do when you. That's what you got to do when you're out, man. Good job by Beamer there and his staff. Probably going to go deep right here.
Yeah, I would definitely see it.
Reverse.
He kept it up the middle. First down.
Turn the game around with one special teams play. The ball's on the ground.
Defense. Yeah, I mean, a play like that, and all of a sudden the defense is on its heels. It's weird how the momentum shifts. But here's that adversity you're talking about, Coach.
Yep.
The ball did come out.
211, 210, 209, 208, 1st and 10 for South Carolina in the Georgia territory.
13 yards for Marshawn Lloyd on that one.
Quick pitch. We got it. Robert Bill did a good job of turning it back inside, and then, of course, Ringo's a good tackler.
Ringo looks gigantic out there for a cornerback.
As much as I don't like the fact that they hit that, I like the fact our defense got a little pressure on them here. Let's see how they respond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First down, they got to caught them off guard. But now, right here at the top, we're not pressing that guy. Look at that. That's good.
A little tighter.
Make the tackle. All right, this is the first time this year that I'm going to predict that Georgia's going to come with some heat.
All right.
Now, I'll probably be wrong. I think we're going to bring more than 4 here.
Where it coming from?
And Carter is going to be part of it.
$44 seconds, 43 seconds.
We're either going to come or we're going to bail. Well, that was a give-up play right there.
1 yard loss.
Just watching Jalen Carter stand up as a 3 technique is just blowing my mind.
You got to figure they're going for this, aren't they?
Was that a design run, or was that some kind of?
If they fake the punt before, you know they're going to go for it here.
Yeah.
Where's the ball?
Second quarter.
Ball's on take a break here, but
on the Georgia 37, Coach.
I just wanted you to explain to everybody again about what Yancey Brothers is doing for potential people. Can I apply?
You can.
I'm too old though, aren't I?
No, they'll take you in right
now. Do they take people out of the rest home?
Well, if
I got no computer skills, I can't change a tire.
You have some computer skills because you get on podcasts all the time.
Yeah,
I am a great proponent of Caterpillar and the quality products they have because I started out at Marshall. My first TV. I was sponsored by Caterpillar, and I learned a lot about them. I went up to a coal mine and watched them take those big old Caterpillar tractors in there, and it was impressive. But I know the same kind of quality these people have here.
Yeah.
Brian Hawley. I mean, these guys really believe in their customers, but they do a good job, and I'm glad we're associated with them because we try to give you a championship broadcast. They're a championship company, and they got a lot of things open, don't they?
They got. I mentioned a couple days ago that they had 198 openings, and they had 203 openings. Now they're up to 211. 211 job opportunities with a company that pays really well, has ridiculous benefits. They're definitely looking for people across all types of industries. I'm going to tell you a couple locations. So you're like, well, where are they, Roddy? Well, you know, they're in Austell, they're in Macon, Columbus. But right now they have an opening for a heavy-duty truck technician trainee. So you want to be a trainee, learn how to work on heavy-duty trucks, they got you covered. We got 3 of those, maybe 4 of those. Boot camp technician. They're looking for a technician to come in throw you in a boot camp where they teach you stuff quickly, so you don't have to go. I don't want to spend 2 years at a tech college, although they will take you to 2 years at a tech college. They need a diesel technician. So basically, if you're looking for the heavy equipment field service, you talk about those big Caterpillar bulldozers and stuff. What happens when their diesel engine has an issue? They got to send somebody out to the field to fix that thing. And the company that's running it
just
can be
can't
losing
stop the project.
$100,000 a year.
I mean, they got to get the project going, and you're certainly not going to take it into the office. I mean, you got to go out there and work on it.
And so there's tens of thousands, $100,000 a day going out on that with that job site's down. So what do you think they're going to pay the technician that comes out there and fixes that diesel engine? They're going to pay him through the roof. So also they need a general line sales representative. Say, hey, we were one of our buddies out in South Carolina said, hey, I might need to talk to those guys. We're going to set up that relationship here in the next day or two. Say, look, you need to buy a Caterpillar, buy it from them, and buy it from this new sales rep. So
the thing that I like about the sponsors that you have with all of these are quality companies, and it starts at the top. When you talk about Ford and the people out there, you've had such a good relationship with them, and my relationship with the Farmer family, and I know Marilyn's watching again. She watches every week, and I hope her friends up in North Carolina are watching again. We talked about them being and so it's just it's good to have the families involved because they know what it's like to take care of their own family, and they feel like people that work for them are part of the deal. You know, it's a big process there to take care of each other. Let's see what we get from the Bulldogs here. Going to have some one-on-one balls in the middle of the field, so they have a tendency to try to throw the ball in the middle of the field here. And if Rattler gets pushed, he's going to roll out to his right. Mm-hmm. We got Jalen Carter. I don't know what they're doing. They got the end zone taken care of with the 4-H girls or something. Are they? That's a delay of game.
That should be. Get off the field.
That's your best call there.
If you're curious, after the first quarter, Spencer Rattler passer rating 85.1, their punter 268.
There you go.
Those girls don't know if the ball's blown up or stuffed.
Assuming that was,
Hey, it's your home game, Shane. It's your home team. Doesn't matter.
That's probably one of those, hey, at the end of the half, at the end of the first quarter, we're going to have some folks come out and honor them on the field.
4th and 9.
There's the pressure.
Get him down. Go Dogs! That's good pressure there.
It was. So I don't
roll
know.
To his right a little bit, see? Pressure, roll to your right. You ain't gonna throw. Excuse me. You aren't gonna throw it on Keely Ringo on a crossing route.
I think you can say ain't. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Well, to me, the bigger thing is you're not going to be able to break a Keely Ringo tackle and a Nolan Smith tackle. You might get him spun around a little bit, but you're not going to break both of those.
That's a really good job by our defense there.
There goes
Kier. Come on.
Oh, terrible throw.
Now, I've been talking about my boy here, Bennett, but right there, that looked like a pass Jim Chaney would have thrown.
Well,
he himself would call the play.
Jim Chaney himself throwing. He couldn't. Yeah. I kidded him. I said, "Can you throw?" He said, "No, coach, I'm an offensive lineman." But nothing against Jim, but old lineman. That's terrible because it was there.
Yeah,
we're going empty here.
Well, I said it before, and Kirby Smart said it last year.
We could hit a wheel route to this guy into the boundary. Watch this. We could hit him.
It's going to be a first down and more.
Wow.
I was talking about he was over on the sideline with his arm around him. He said,
"Don't forget about me."
That was it.
And if Darnell Washington said, "Don't forget about me," by God, you're going to remember him.
There's Coach Beamer and his wife. His wife's on the sideline too.
Man, that's awesome.
I guess that's before the game. Not on his right, though, on his left.
Hey, Coach, Mark Hopkins sent me the photo he was talking about. I just sent it to you so you can see it.
Look at all that to the beef to the right, Coach.
Thanks, Mark.
He's going to check off to a run here.
There's nobody over there on that side. Oh,
flea flicker hit it.
Well, okie doke.
Oh, we talked about the flea flicker. Yeah, call it.
I was about to say y'all knocked him down in the end zone. But hey, give him credit. They had two guys running with him.
Yeah. Check that out, Coach.
That's great. I got one over there with my granddaddy. Boy, that was a good throw there, as bad as that other one was. Good Lord, that was good.
See, but it looked like he had to slow down a little bit.
Well, because the guy was holding his 8 and the other guy was holding the 4. We got some hockey in our offense now, I'm telling you. Come on, Rep. Nobody, let them play. I promise.
Maybe more girls on the field.
I got to be.
I promise you, we're gonna hurt them into the boundary if they keep lining up like that.
14:07.
There's nobody there. It is, Coach. There's nobody there.
It's a good tackle, though. I tell you, I mean, maybe they knew what they're doing, but I'm talking about South Carolina because he looked like they're outflanked, but the guy came inside out and made the play. Still gained 5 yards.
So maybe you show them that, trying to lure them into the boundary and then kind of squeeze them between the sideline and your guy going inside out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be okay. I always hate the South Carolina sideline because your unbelievable sun hitting you.
Yeah.
13:50.
He likes to run it here.
Oh.
Didn't do much. He should have kept it. Hey, come on. You did a great job. You're behind 14-0. Well, that was not a very good, well-blocked play right there, but are we in the 4-down zone? Where's the ball?
3rd and 5 on the 32.
He'll kick a field goal.
Yeah, that's field goal territory.
No, he's going to get the first down here. What are y'all talking about?
Okay.
I'm just saying if
– No, I know what you're saying, yeah.
You got another.
Oh, so when I say it, you correct me when Coach says, oh, yeah.
Exactly.
He's checking the protection here. We got Mims in at right tackle in a critical situation.
Lad McConkey. Hack!
Good call there. You just keep watching and you know what you're doing.
Blind squirrel.
Can you believe the way he checked that protection? I'm glad to see him letting Mims play a little bit. He didn't block anybody, but
Here's
crossing route. Good Lord, what a pass.
That
Rose me.
That scared me. Uh-oh.
Might have been roughing the passer.
No, South Carolina's trying to cheat.
He still completed
Can't beat him with 11, go with 12. I tell you, that quarterback is really special. He threw one bad pass today.
What was so special about this throw? Was it across the
I
body?
mean, he just on the move and hit a guy with 3 guys on him. I'm tired of looking at Shane Beamer. Let's watch the game.
Coach, they got those other cameramen they got to pay.
He's going to run a quarterback draw here.
12-19.
It's going to open up for him too. There it is.
You had him.
That play has not worked this year.
I mean, it almost worked to Bowers last week.
That's what I'm saying, but it's just
we're just so critical of every play. Wanted to be a touchdown, but
yes,
I would have liked to seen us try to just power it on in there, from the 6 yard. Oh, it's the 7, but this is going. He left his feet.
He jumped way too early.
In this case right here,
keep running, man. Keep running.
We got some really good jet sweep plays down here on the goal line. They're going to come out fast and run a guy in motion quick. Watch him. He's going to go in motion and hand him the ball. I faked it to him. That's even better.
A little overhanded pitch.
Oh.
Good blocking. Not much.
He ran timid, Coach.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't run very aggressive out there.
11:57, 11:56, 11:55. Third and goal.
There's no photographers or anybody in the end zone. That is a terrible place to cover a game, by the way. You saw the cameraman got run into on Ladd McConkey's thing.
That was the ESPN guy too. He was a little bit further in than he should have been.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's just one reason I hated covering games there.
Might throw the fade into the boundary. He had 1 foot in.
He did.
Yes, sir. What a throw. I had that one right.
You did.
What a catch. What a throw.
This is why I won't drink.
Look at our kids right here, boy. Our kids enjoying each other. I love that. Roughing the passer. 2 touchdowns for Brocky boy today.
So what did I just say about that pass not working?
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to spare you.
Look, I want credit for calling the Ladd McConkey's number, and then I take the beating for
that was
that
spectacular.
That was.
I think Stetson might be hurt a little bit. They had somebody else holding him.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing.
God almighty.
He's a tough kid, though. I saw Rylan Goody on the sideline just now. He made the trip this week.
So, very impressed.
Hit him in the mouth or something.
All right, let's give some stats here real quick.
This is an efficient team, man. I mean, seriously, we got some weapons. We got some artillery. We got some guns. And we got 19-0. I mean, can you imagine? And I'm telling you, 0 is going to be a lot more prevalent in the red zone over the middle now. As long as they're going to have to double Bowers when he gets out there. I mean, he runs the fade about as good as a split end can, but he can also run the back shoulder on him, and then he can run the zigzag. And he's such a big target. And you got to put your corners over on the 2 wide receivers, so you got a safety covering him.
Yeah.
Who aren't used to doing that. That's just brilliant.
Well, we saw him last week when he went in and he turned his body around towards the ball. And he just swept that DB like somebody getting rid of a dust cloud. Just get out of here. And I was impressed with the throw there. So,
but just as a capsule here, and from a coaching perspective, I think it was. Our defense saw a little adversity there 2 different times. They hit a big play on the long ball to Wells, and then we came back with the interception. And then the next series we stopped them, and then they ran a fake field goal, a fake punt on the next one, and we came out and stopped
all over
them.
on downs. Yeah,
and then our offense took it on down the field. As usual, we haven't punted yet.
that's a good point.
So.
Stetson Bennett, coach, is 10 of 13 for 125 yards and a touchdown. Still currently the leading rusher. Ladd McConkey, 4 catches for 52 yards. Brock Bowers, 2 for 21 yards. But Brock Bowers with a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown.
If he can throw a passing touchdown, now you'd maybe and the guy threw one.
Do you really think he couldn't? I think I'm just saying. Well, go back to that Michigan game. If James Cook, or I think was he the one that threw that?
No, that was Six that threw that for us.
Kenny McIntosh.
Yeah.
Okay. If Kenny McIntosh can throw one, I'll give it Brock Bowers a chance to do it. So
McConkey can throw.
I don't doubt that at all. So Georgia has 11 first downs, Coach. South Carolina's got 4. But you're right. It's been a couple chunk plays for South Carolina. Looking at all their stuff, it's like you said, they're just not going to be. So far, they've not been able to line up and go toe to toe. You're going to have to get those explosive plays to beat this Georgia defense. And that fourth down where you're throwing on Keely Ringo with Nolan Smith trailing, I just don't see that working.
Exactly. I hope Bennett didn't get hit in the mouth or something. Worries me. They're over there talking to me.
Hang on.
It looks
That's
like
what she says.
you're getting some oxygen.
She says he's fine and will return to the game, but they were giving him a lot of water and putting towels on his neck.
Well,
So, yeah, he's overheating. He's
Yeah.
red hot.
he's on fire.
He's like, dude, don't just put the cold button, just pour it down the back. Oh, there's the heat, Coach. They brought.
This is what we do every day. Tackle in space. And if you don't, you get Kirby's wrath.
Yeah.
Look at you see what we broke on the ball there?
Yeah.
I know we're a homer and we're talking how good Georgia is, but this is Georgia's show. You want to watch South Carolina and their bullshit? Watch them. We got good players now, and they're well coached. And they might score on this play, but
They blitzed too much. Johnson.
we're around the football, and we're a disciplined team.
Yeah.
Second quarter, 11:07, 11:06, 11:05, 11:04.
Heat him up. Heat him up.
Oh, he's got some.
Hit him.
Ooh.
Chambliss, man. God, we had close there.
Yeah. That should have been a 2-yard gain.
Give old Rattler there. I mean, he's got ability. I don't want to bag on him, but we were close to a sack right there. You got to make that tackle.
That was a hell of a run.
We got Smith back in there right away.
Nowhere to go in the middle of that line.
That's still
But
a
good push,
run.
though. That was a good push at the end. Basically, what are you calling it there, Coach, when everything's locked off? There's somebody sitting in every gap, but he still is able to squirt through there.
Yeah, I mean, just a really good, smart run by that kid.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you're going to say it was an offensive lineman or just his ability there.
I mean, we just can't shut down everything.
No, I'm just curious. I'm trying to learn the game from you.
Yeah. Well, he's just running the daylight. Reverse.
Woo.
If I was their offensive guy, I would just stick with the run right now and a little play action because, we're set up to play the ball in the air with 21-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll probably throw right here.
It keeps Georgia's offense off the field, so I'm with you.
This is kind of a different look here.
Well, that's unique.
Inverted wishbone. Good job breaking on the ball there. Tresman Marshall.
He's had a really good start to his season.
I tell you, when you can,
he doesn't miss arm day.
That's the difference. He made the tackle in the flat, and Chambliss missed it.
Yeah.
And Chambliss' defense, he was breaking inside, and
right.
he didn't react very. He's not a pass cover guy. He's a rush the passer guy.
844, 843, 842.
Heat.
That's going to be a good start.
Give us some help.
Yeah.
It's a false start because they
Left tackle Dylan won him.
wasn't it Arkansas that bid on that about 5 times last year.
At least. You see that?
Well, we interviewed Dylan won him like
Did you see that
900 times.
Right defensive player kind of give that signal behind his back there.
Yeah.
He's letting the linebackers know some kind of set that the offensive lineman a key if it's run or pass. I don't know but by doing that, you
Because he's pointing down like right here.
no,
right here, right here.
if you go like that, then you know that it's going to be. He's letting you know what the lineman's set is. He got his hand back off the ball, or is he lined up way down, pressured to come ball on a run?
Yeah, there's another signal. That one's from Trammell though.
We got it right here.
Marshall just running him away.
Again, Kirby Smart, our staff, they know which way this guy's going to go when he's pressured, and we're reacting to that.
Well,
I mean, that's off of film. Now watch the pressure in the pocket. He can't step, so he moves to his right. Our guys are right there to contain.
Yeah. Trammell Walther come through on the first snap of this series, Coach. They did the same thing, but it was Dumas Johnson came through, went to his left, Spencer's right.
For some reason, somebody must have. I mean, you must have dreamed it up, but I read in that 3-2-1 thing that you thought we might pressure more.
You said it on Tuesday, and I just stole it.
I hope. Here comes Carter untouched. Good coaching there.
Yep.
Linebacker had a man coverage, made the tackle in the back. I'm not just bragging on our coaches because I like them, but we're in position to make plays. If you go for it here, Beamer, I would think not really shouldn't do it. So here comes the mailman after getting his
He should be used to this.
Yeah. No,
he's making sure that this is not another fake punt. He's mad.
Yeah.
Will Muschamp is who we're talking about.
Yeah, Will Muschamp's hot.
We feel like we can return a punt on these guys if we really do.
He ain't gonna return this one for nothing.
If he'd have ran that back, Roddy, as you said that, I'd have clipped it out.
There were like 9 guys down there.
Yeah, you make 2 of them miss, and they're all down there.
That's true. It's true. I knew he wasn't going to get anything out of that one. I've been right twice. I want 2 of those peanut butter cookies in the other room.
Hey, I'm going to at halftime. I'm gonna play our interview with Stetson Bennett's musical inspiration, Colby Calais.
Do it for us, Colby.
But I only say that because you might see like a blip of that for a moment here while I cue that up. I'm not sure how this works in the production end. So stand by.
Weren't you like 5 minutes ago bragging about being an Uber producer?
I mean, you keep telling me to come back.
Well, that's because I can't find anybody else who'll do it.
I know.
I bet Oklahoma's up to Nebraska. I bet you Scott Frost's probably glad he's not coaching.
He's like, he got his full payout. So he's like, well, hell yeah, if y'all want me to leave. Bergeron interview recently was like,
might be the wrong score. I don't know. What is the score? It is 27.
Ed Bergeron's like, y'all gonna pay me all my money to leave? Which door you want me to go out of? Okay. So I think Frost got a ton there. Personally, don't like firing a coach at that point midway through the season. I get it though.
Yeah.
Hey, I was right.
Me.
That did play by itself automatically until I hit another button. So I'm glad I warned people rather than just.
Yeah, and there goes like 90% of our followers.
So I'm actually like a better producer than you even thought I was.
Oh, that's that's the only way it could happen. You couldn't be worse than I thought. So that would be a logical impossibility. Hey, folks, if you're watching, let us know where you're watching it from, and please share this.
Yeah, I would like to know around the country who are you in a foreign country or
you can lie. We'll believe it.
We'd like to
a foreign country like Mississippi or Alabama.
No. I would say South Florida can be a completely different country.
Lewis Austin's in Fort Worth.
By the time you get
Boomer
from,
Sooner.
Chris is in Temple, Georgia. Stephen in Savannah. Suzanne in Orlando.
oh man, I'd love to be in Savannah right about
Hey,
now.
and tell them if they're on Facebook to share it with people too, because show them how to do that.
You just did. Rogers in Calhoun, Georgia. Rachel is in Michigan. Madison, Wisconsin for John.
Oh, Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison.
That's a great place.
Charles is in Nebraska. Sandy Springs for another John. Jeff's in Savannah. AZ Dogs in Scottsdale, Arizona. Mariana, Florida for Rusty King. Jesse Fortson with a super chat. Thank you, Jesse. Says, thanks for the show from Peach County. The girls say hi to Uncle Roddy.
All right.
How they like their brownies?
Down in Kieris Jackson land. A lot of great football players have come from Fort Valley.
Toughest football players in the state come out of Peach County.
James McNamara in Dallas.
No question.
Mims is playing a lot today.
Mims in there again, coach.
Winder, Cohutta. Paul's in
They
Jacksonville.
playing giving Jones a break at left tackle and got McClendon at left tackle, Willock at left guard.
I'll keep popping these on the screen, but the game's back and y'all want to hear coach. And
Here comes Edwards in at running back. He can make a pop on it.
Run him behind Big Amarius Mims and see what happens.
You're going to run it over there right now. Good run. 6 yards.
Willie just grabs him and falls backwards with him. Let's make this a little further.
Shifty eyes.
The thing that I like about our team too is that we haven't looked like we don't know what we're doing once this year. I mean, we're always prepared, and there's Stetson up there with the Blue Angels.
Coach, I interviewed him after that, another exclusive at UGASports.com. He said that was the biggest thing he's ever done in his life. I'm like, he just came off a national championship.
With a bottle of Pappy.
That wasn't a very good call there. A block play. We got hit from the backside. We got to be careful here now. We need a first down. We got a new punter in there. Going to have to punt from backed up. Yeah. We got to make this first down. This is like serious. We got different lineup in there. Let's go. I can see Stetson keeping the ball here.
Do they bring heat on this?
They're lined up.
Yeah. What the? Oh, God.
He tried to loft it to a spot.
Well, the guy played it.
Woo.
Hey, you asked for a foreign country.
4th and 2, run the ball. God almighty.
Rogers in the Philippines.
Wow. So I said he has 2 boneheaded plays a game. That felt like one.
Well, what could he do? The guy was out there. You know what I mean?
That just looks to me like a pick six waiting to happen. A little lob.
It was just 4th and 2, run the ball. Here's your Australian punter with the pressure on.
Got it off cleanly.
I hope they're offside or something.
Or they run into him.
That'd be great field position for him. Let's see what the call is at 5:56 on the clock, folks. All right, South Carolina get it from the 45.
So we had trouble with that last year. We didn't have enough people on the line of scrimmage.
Not enough on line of scrimmage, yes, sir.
Of course, they hadn't had a practice. It's only like their third, but that could have hurt you.
Yeah.
Poor series by Georgia. That's the first 3 and out we've had in a long time. Oh, we had one against Samford last week on start the second half, but I mean 3rd and 2. Wouldn't you run it there?
Yes.
Or run play action, let him run pass or anything but a screen pass. Well, but I'm not going to second guess that. But it just looked like it's discombobulated.
Yeah.
Gives them another shot now.
They get a much better.
If I'm Shane Beamer, I'd tell that guy, throw another deep ball and see what happens, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd go back to picking on Lassiter.
Especially on first down.
Yeah. And then back Georgia's safeties out of there in a heartbeat.
You know, a lot of times things look too easy and things are going so good, and then all of a sudden you lose a little intensity and execution. That was poorly executed last two plays. The running play, we got tackled from the backside because nobody closed the guy. We blocked it at the point of attack, and then that one was a poor timing on a screen pass, and you know, Stetson didn't feel good throwing it because the guy was in the way, and he just tried but it was the one thing I always told our quarterbacks, and you can tell your guys, if the guy is playing the screen, run right at him and make him take you or him.
Right.
Don't keep backing up. Just run right at him. And in that case, he just threw it too quick. But he was getting a little pressure too, so I definitely won't fire him over that. I think he might have been a little screwed up with all that water going down his back and stuff. Jersey might. You know, when we used to play these hot games early in the year, we would get our players to change their whole uniform at halftime because those linemen just sweat so profusely and everything, particularly the center, because his butt's wet and you're snapping the ball and you're getting a wet ball. And so we always changed every first 15 or 18 players changed their whole uniform at halftime.
Now I'm thinking about center
I
back.
was going to ask you about something else I read that you had. Well, we'll come back to that there.
So
don't get the band in the end zone too, so Beamer get mad at that.
Yeah. That is a loud place, but down 21-0, they'll still be in the stands.
They got good field position here.
Yeah.
It's a good tackle.
Same thing happened with us from the backside.
Mm-hmm. But you were talking earlier in that last
93 that time. Who was that?
That's Ingram Dawkins, isn't it?
Yeah. Going fast on us.
But you're talking about would you run it or would you throw it deep or run it here? Remember that pass series, they were running it really well. And Georgia's expecting, kind of lined up for them to attack through the air to try to get some points, but they've come so close to breaking out some of these runs.
They seem pretty content to stay on the ground right now.
Tell you one thing, we got some good backside quickness, don't we?
Yep.
This kid's good back.
I mean, I'd be content to keep him on the ground when Georgia's got all those defensive backs in there. It's like, my guys will block yours.
Carter not in the game.
508, 507, 506.
They might try a little bubble into the boundary here.
Second quarter, 3rd and 4.
Georgia's shifting so much.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Ingram.
Let go.
He's had a good series, 2 tackles.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing you talked about in the preseason report, what a good fall camp you had.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you credit for that because this guy just got off the block and just tremendous.
Well, this is a big game for him, Gaffney, South Carolina.
Yeah, he's coming in there from Gaffney. I think Kirby said something about he was going to be jacked up kind of like Channing.
Channing Tindall was.
Yeah. But what were you talking about? Our players are doing yoga after practice?
Yes, they're doing yoga. So, you always Kirby was talking about those soft tissue injuries, and you have so many guys that get strains and sprains and stuff like that. Last year it was kind of voluntary. They had some guys that would do it. Now at the end of practice, they do it with they do it with the whole team. It's like, let's do this. And I asked them, like, well, are they snickering? Are they laughing over there? And the person told me about it says, would you laugh at Jalen Carter? I'm like, no, I would not laugh at Jalen Carter. But no, they take it seriously. It could be all this kind of
kind of a bonding thing, too.
Yeah,
just all lay on the field.
Yeah, just lay out there and just do all the stuff, And again, that flexibility is really important.
Well, any kind of
All that lactic acid
yeah,
moves out.
if you can, and then they get the rub downs after that with the technicians that are trying to become physical therapists.
I think that's good stuff. When you get them all massaged out.
Well, the kids feel good too. I mean, you want fresh legs going into a game, and you want to feel like you got your best shot. A really good football team here would put this. We're going to have 2 straight possessions because we're going to get the ball to start the second half because we deferred. So we got our ass chewed over on the sideline here. Let's see if our offense will get going here.
Well, let's set up the situation here. There's 4 minutes left. So if you have, we talk about 4-minute offenses like we do 2-minute offenses sometimes.
We got 2 timeouts or 3 timeouts left?
3.
All 3 timeouts. Georgia with the ball at its own 15-yard line. So plenty of time. And like you say, Coach, you can run a full drive, kill some clock, see if you can score.
Yeah.
Yep. We're probably going to come back to some of these Bennett chances to keep it because of the way their backside's tackling our ends. Their ends are coming off our ends. I mean, they're not tackling them. They're just coming around their ends and making tackles. But understand that there's been about 50 motorcycles rented down in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The the Missouri Southern team's going to come in the stadium on motorcycles to honor Bobby Petrino coming back there. And they're going to have on their little neck collars.
Yeah.
Tell you, Bobby Petrino's a heck of an offensive coach, though. He'll have a plan, and they'll move the ball, but it's just
to me, though, looking at what Georgia's about to do, I can get this 4 minutes left, but you have not really set up and run the ball.
Come on, you want to.
I just want to see.
We won't.
I wrote about it 2 weeks ago. I wrote about it yesterday.
We're not going to run much this series.
That was my point. At 4 minutes, I just don't see it happening. But it seems to me like you could just go out there and just.
Well, you should have run it on 3rd and 2 after you ran it, but you had your best 2 backs on the sideline too, and you had. Yeah. I mean, the kid made a pretty good run on 1st down, but
run Bowers.
They did run that. And again, we call some of those receiving. Brock Bowers is 10-yarder as a. Or excuse me, his 15-yarder that was a run and not a pass, but I just kind of want to see that traditional run game, just line it up and then cut to your 2 minutes offense.
All right, so we're about to come back.
Get you out of that hole you're in. You're on your own 15. Hell, run it out of there.
Reminder at halftime that we'll take a break and we will play for you our interview with Colby Calais.
Get out of the way, ref. We got
Don Blaylock in.
Yeah, Dom in. He's got
Marcus Rosemy-Jackson in. I'd like to see the
play action.
Tailback.
Rosemy in motion.
Oh, that's a good call. I don't know who came up with that call, but
take 6. But see what they did when they put Rosemy in motion was he blocked the backside end there, so he wouldn't get, or at least he got in their way. We got our first team line back in there.
All right, let's go get angry, Kendall Milton.
Georgia's leading rusher still Stetson Bennett with 25 yards.
Oh, we got 2 tight ends in the slot here. One of them's going in motion, probably Bowers. Oh,
there it is. How do you know this stuff? Oof. Any other tight end, that would have been barely a first down.
The guy's a hybrid, man. He can play everything.
Yeah.
Well, you see the difference in the commitment to the running lane and going forward with violence. You've seen some other players not do this.
You got Big O out there. Jackie's you put him on the ground.
I would never want to take that man on.
All right, down to 256, 255, 254.
We could go over the top here. I really think we could.
You don't think that safety's going to back up?
He just checked something?
Wow.
All right, Dom. Dom, da dom, dom. The guy has never missed a pass in his whole life. I'm so happy for him. Look at this. He just reads the coverage and just keeps coming. Great throw on the run. Just hit him in stride.
Good exaggerated catch.
That's my favorite play of the game so far.
They're hyped for him.
The kids love him, and it's just the guy's been through 2 ACLs. Just really, there you go, quick pitch,
Fake pitch.
God, what a play!
Jeez.
What a play!
I can't watch this anymore. That scares me. Look at him, that eat shit look on his face. He's like,
Just how they drew it up.
he's like, Todd Monken's gonna kill me for that one. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! he rolled him into a pretzel.
Oh,
Can a duo win a Heisman?
we got a lot of stuff here. We could run the wheel route off of it. Don't save your timeouts.
Here goes Bowers.
McConkey was
To
going to throw it,
McConkey.
but get out of bounds.
So he was looking to throw that.
Yeah, he was.
Didn't see it, so he kept it.
Yeah, so he picks up the first down, but you're right. It should have gone out. But they'll stop it to move the chains.
He was going to throw this ball. Maybe to Bennett. They had him covered, though.
Yeah.
He got the first down at least.
I mean, they're just making some of these plays up in intramurals, man. I'll tell you what, this is
109, 108, 107.
I was told Oregon was overrated, Coach.
we got to finish it.
A minute left in the first half.
Go. That's the way to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that we're not.
See that defensive lineman? I got to come out. I've been running for 15 minutes.
That we're not a real show pass team. You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
everybody knows it. And there was this one guy that played for this team's name was Bubba. And he was chasing these guys all over the field and making good plays. And after he'd make a good play, they say, tell him who you are. Tell him who you are. And he'd say, I'm Bubba. And finally, he chased them about as long as that guy did. And they said, tell him who you are. Tell him who you are. He said, they know. They know.
I'm dying.
It's a true story.
I believe it. Incomplete.
Jackson Meeks intended for that. So
I
they
like
brought the pressure, and he went to the outside one-on-one.
You got to go up in the air for it, buddy. You got to leave your feet. I guess he did, but that's a pretty good throw. We need a possession down here where we're going to have to go for a field goal. They're going to try to heat us up here.
Yeah, 3rd and 10. Definitely see it coming.
It's good protection.
Going Lad McConkey again. That was well covered.
I would like to go underneath there, but that's okay. Still a good drive.
Yeah, from your 15 to punch it down there. Some crazy plays on that
First
drive.
down play was not great. That's face guarding. Look at it.
It's pretty good coverage on both.
I'd like to see a fake here, wouldn't you?
Nah. Would I like to? Sure, but
It's a 42-yard attempt for Jack Podlesny.
Jack's going to hit this. Yep.
It's a great kick.
Easy money.
I'm just saying, last week he just looked so like he used to, you know. And all we heard about the Payne Walker long snapper. Give the long snapper some love. We heard in fall camp about how the field goal kicking was terrible and the punting was terrible, but so far this year
They made
they
that
got their
move.
stuff together.
Made that move to Stetson, though. I think
Yeah.
it's more comfortable holding, but
Let's do a quick stat check here. Stetson Bennett, 13 of 20 for 166 yards and a touchdown. He's also the leading rusher with his 2 carries for 25 yards. Kendall Milton, 7 for 20. Ladd McConkey with 1 for 13. Receiving, McConkey 4 catches for 52 yards. Brock Bowers 4 for 43 and a touchdown.
We just hadn't seen McIntosh in hardly any, have we?
Yeah.
He has 1 catch and 2 carries. Blaylock has a catch. Darnell has a catch. Marcus Rosemy-Jackson with a catch. And Kyrus Jackson with a catch. Right now, Spencer Rattler, 8 of 13, 83 yards and an interception.
I hope they interview Beamer at halftime. The difference was that all those people were on the field for him. That screwed their team up.
As much as it seems like South Carolina has tried to run the ball, they only have 40 rushing yards.
Did they have some lost yardage ones?
Well, even Marshawn Lloyd, 7 carries for 22 yards. If you told me just watching this, I would have thought it was more than that.
Yeah, I would have thought he had 2. But the thing is, some of those shoestring tackles look like, they make you nervous because the last guy who could possibly catch us trips him up. And so, they only got 4 yards, but you're worried about what could have been. So it feels worse. It feels like they have more yards than
you drive yourself into submission on worrying about what if.
I do, yeah.
George only has 1 penalty for 5
like
yards.
right here, would you sit on it? I hope he throws one up.
He's going to throw it.
Malachi starts pick 6.
He's got nothing to lose.
We didn't have but 2 guys on him. Hey,
so rude.
If he would do another one, then we'd be ready to call a timeout. He's staying up there in the press box in case we get the ball.
Honestly, I'll tell him, look, go ahead and get in the elevator. Come on down to the thing. If we get the ball back, we'll just let Stetson run out there and run some plays.
That's what happened in the when they played in Pasadena.
Yeah.
Little screen pass.
Oklahoma situation, on the bad kick, and we didn't have Chaney was coming down in the elevator, and Kirby said, "What did he usually call here to try to get 8 or 10 yards?" And everybody knew what it was, and so I just called it, and they got it, and they kicked the field goal, and Blankenship knocked it in. Right here, if they run the ball here and we stop them, Kirby will call timeout.
He's got 3, so
can't take them back to.
You don't get bonus points for them. They don't convert like green stamps. I like that reference.
Is Carter over here on this side this time?
I don't know. They spend too much time looking at the. Oh, nice hold.
Oh, you jackrabbit! That wasn't a penalty.
Going right at Kamari Lassiter again.
They call that on Bill, didn't they?
I think they're called PI on Lassiter.
Yeah, pass interference on Lassiter. He hit him early.
I guess he did.
But he's still a jackrabbit.
My bad. I didn't say jack ankles.
13 seconds left. South Carolina at its own 30.
Well, we know none of those.
I like sit here just for the routine goodness of it. I mean, with 13 seconds, you don't need to throw the ball short.
No,
Why
throw it deep. Like you said, get that pick so somebody can help him. And oh my goodness,
somebody hit his arm, didn't he?
Yeah, they did. I saw Keely Ringo coming over there. I'm thinking, oh man, Keely's about to have a pick 6 here. Then I would have had to say, somebody called it.
They're gonna run a draw play here. If I'm the head coach, I'm telling tell them do not throw the ball here. Unless you throw it out down there to the
go 4 wide.
Who's calling the timeout?
South Carolina.
Just delaying the inevitable here, right?
There's always hope, man.
I mean, I don't think you have a 70-yard Hail Mary in your game book.
We just had a blasé second quarter there, I mean, just not much.
I mean, you say that, they still scored 10 points. I know it could have been more, but.
Well, you wanted them to beat the spread in the first half, but they missed it by half a point, didn't they? Unless Rattler throws another pick.
On pace for 48-0.
Sure, I'm happy with it.
You were worried about this game.
Not like the prophet of doom here. I told Bear Felica this. He was talking about that he picked South Carolina to be ahead at halftime. That's what he told me.
What?
That's what he told me.
At what?
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for the first half. Georgia 24, South Carolina 0.
Right.
Oh, they're trying to say there's one more second. Don't be doing this.
Wait, so the
That
guy.
clock ran out.
That's South Carolina. Look at the.
Our buddy Reggie Chapman at 11 Live says, "Coach, what does Shane Beamer tell his team at the halftime?"
Just got to come back and play fundamental football and hope we can win the second half like they did last year.
So they're adding a second.
I knew they would.
Anthony Dasher shows us a little video of what's going on at Williams-Brice Stadium.
Was he out of bounds? George is going in the tunnel. I don't care about your 1 second.
I told he was saying I picked South Carolina at halftime, and what did I say to him?
Dick Tracy.
No, I said you could be right. You could be right.
You could be right. I felt the same day we beat Mizzou 77-0. The way I do about this game, we will crush them. Yeah.
I said I felt the same way going into the game I did when we beat Missouri 77-0. I don't think we will beat them that bad, but I knew we were going to beat these guys pretty badly if we just played. Our own worst enemy today ourselves with.
Matt, I think there's some segment of Georgia fans that always fear a road noon kick.
Yeah.
Especially in a frying pan of a stadium.
Kirby got called timeout. Find out where his defense is.
Well, and the air conditioning in there that we took. He's gonna put Darnell back there as a deep guy.
Like Darnell, don't try to catch, just knock it down.
Kirby's arm is fully extended just to reach Darnell Washington's shoulder.
Hey, Darnell.
It's like trying to put your hand on top of a custom conversion van, like the Orange Crush. We had a van called the Orange Crush.
So we got Kent State Golden Flashes next week
at noon,
and then at Missouri, and then who?
I don't know.
Who we play on the 8th and the 15th? Then we got 20 seconds open date. I know.
I gotta do something on that 22nd.
They're gonna get some garbage yardage here. They're gonna throw it short.
I'm just gonna throw it away.
The 8th is Auburn at home. The 15th is Vanderbilt at home. Bye week, and then Jacksonville.
So that makes that's another incomplete pass for Spencer.
We'll see if Brian Harsin makes the trip to Georgia.
That's cold-blooded.
All right, Kirby, you gonna talk to him?
Kirby's not happy. He's never happy. Defensive eye control.
You think he hydrated too much?
I think he apparently threw up. They said we saw your quarterback getting sick, so maybe he had too much water in his stomach.
Nebraska thinks that's a good thing.
But let me tell you something. It's like my high school coach said. When you throw up, don't you feel better?
1,000 times.
Right. You need to regurgitate.
Unless you're walking back from the French Quarter.
Yeah, but you need to be
summer.
You need to be a Buick salesman. Buick!
Man, I sold about 3 of them. Thank you, Dave McMahon, for getting me home.
Hey, thanks for everybody watching the first half. I mean, really, it was pretty much what we told you was going to happen, but hopefully we can get some more players in the second half and
nobody gets hurt.
Thank you.
I can tell you one thing. He's not going to call off the dogs until about the middle of the fourth quarter.
If then.
Thank you to Yancey Brothers for sponsoring the show. Thank you to Bud Light Next. And Athens Ford. Thank y'all for making this possible. This is so cool that we get to do this with Jim Donnan. Now what you're going to say at halftime, as we take a bit of a halftime break ourselves, is an interview that I did with Grammy winner Colby Calais. And the whole premise of it is that before games, Stetson Bennett listens to Bubbly by Colby Calais. It's kind of a surfer California little folk pop song from the middle of the 2000s. It's not what you would think for a hype song. We got Colby Calais to speak about it. Here's that interview. If we have to bail from this at all because it goes too long or whatever, you can catch this on our YouTube page already. Make sure you subscribe there. Thanks for watching. We'll be back for the second half. Dayne Young here with UGAsports.com, joined by Colby Calais, the inspiration for Stetson Bennett. And if you don't have the context for that, here's Stetson Bennett explaining how that's the case.
You got any go-to songs when it comes to that routine?
Yeah, I've got one. I don't know if I should say it, but it's Bubbly by Colby Calais. I love that song. That's my song.
So Colby Calais, welcome. Thank you. What do you think about Bubbly becoming a sports anthem?
You know, it's something that you least expect, right? But I think it's the sweetest thing. I love just how like charming and sincere he was in his response. And actually, after I got sent that, I followed him on Instagram, and so now we're Instagram friends. And he let me know that it gets him like in like a good place like mentally, rather than getting like revved up. It helps him think like clearly. So I thought that was really sweet to hear, and it was amazing to know that my song could do that for such a talented young man.
So now y'all are Instagram friends. I feel like maybe you should be breaking some news, telling me about Stetson Bennett. What's that like for you? Because I don't imagine you're often getting athletes saying that your music hypes them up, right?
No, yeah, it's been rare. Like there's occasional, you know, other artists or actors, but I think it's rare when an athlete says, especially before their game, before they play, and they're so successful and talented. And you know, for a song like Bubbly, where it's just very mellow and calming, it is an interesting like juxtaposition, but I love it. It makes me happy to hear.
I asked some friends of mine and I said, what do you think it is about this song for him? And they said that it may be as simple as the "Can you count me in?" That like that kind of like is a good vibe. Is there a story behind that being the beginning of the song?
Honestly, yeah, it's kind of embarrassing because when I wrote the song, I played the guitar a little different. And my producer, Michael Blue, when he was recording the guitar for the album, he played it differently. And so for some reason, I couldn't get my timing right. And I was getting frustrated. And I was like, oh, will you count me in? And he was like, that was so sweet. And I was like, no, it's not sweet. It's embarrassing. Like, I don't even know when to come in on my own song. And then he wanted to keep it. And I actually fought him on it for a while. But he won and he was right.
Yeah, I would say so. Now, I should tell you, there was a second song that he mentioned, and I don't know if this found its way to you, but Bubbly was the first song that he mentioned. The second was Juicy by Notorious B.I.G.
Oh my God, I love that song so much. I listen to Biggie before I go on stage, which is kind of funny because it hypes me up for sure.
Oh, kindred spirits, you and Stetson Bennett. Then this is wonderful. But I had never thought of Juicy and Bubbly being in the same genre, but I think now they are.
You know, they can do different things. You need, you know, like he said, like clarity, and then also just to like feel excited. So that's really cute.
Do you follow college football at all? Is that anything in your world?
It is not at all in my world, but a lot of my guy friends do. So I've heard, and I know it just started like last weekend. I know how excited they all were. So I was excited to let them know that Stetson, you know, likes my song. So,
have you ever been to Athens? Do you like it?
I don't know if I have, but I definitely want to go to a game. I think it'd be fun if my friends and I went down there for a game, and you know, it's easy, short drive.
I mean, at this point, I think you have a pretty good hookup if you want to go to a game. Just get on Instagram and message your buddy Stetson.
Yeah.
Do you have any other good stories behind the song Bubbly? I know you co-wrote it with Jason Reeves, and this was back in the MySpace days and leading into early in your career. But any stories about the song or what it's about or what the lyrics mean?
Yeah, so I wrote the song. It's actually one of the only songs I've written that's not about a certain person in particular. It's about the idea of love when I was 20 years old. And I actually wrote it because I was a brand new guitar player and I was at this jam night at a friend's house, and my friend Shane, he tuned my guitar into open D, and I was used to standard tuning. And so I took my guitar home and I didn't know how to play it, and I had to just mess around, and I found these 3 really pretty chords, and they were so simple, and that's how I wrote Bubbly. So I never would have written it if my friend didn't change the tuning. And then also my other friend from high school didn't put Bubbly on MySpace. So I had so many people that like it all came together because of, and so I'm grateful for that.
Do you know anything about Stetson Bennett's story at all? I don't know if you're friends that maybe follow college football. So he was not recruited to play really at all, and he came on as a walk-on, did not have a scholarship, was the last quarterback on the roster, transferred out to go to a junior college to try to find some playing time. Came back, saved the team when they didn't really have a quarterback, but then got benched again. And now he's approaching 25 years old, final year in college football. And it's kind of the rags to riches story of no one had expectations for him. And now he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league and potentially in the country. So I don't know if that underdog story resonates with you at all, but it sounds like there's some happenstance in your career that maybe aligns with that.
That's incredible. Yeah, I think I saw something today. I saw a post about him, about how, there were people that maybe didn't believe in him, and how you just have to believe in yourself, and you have to have like a support system around you, and you have to just give it your all and not give up. And for me, I was very fortunate in how my career unfolded, but I wasn't prepared for it. So I actually had to do all the hard work in the spotlight after my career took off. Normally it happens for people beforehand. And so I had to do it, on live TV and, on my first tour with the Goo Goo Dolls. I had to learn all of it as I went. And it was the most challenging time of my life. But I'm so glad I had to get through it and work my butt off. And I feel like I feel like I earned it over time.
And I know you're a California native, but you live in the South now, right? Aren't you in Tennessee?
Oh yeah, I live in Nashville.
Has any of the Southern ways of football and the culture, has that kind of like, I guess, weaved in who you are a little bit? Have you seen that from Nashville?
I've been to one Titans game. Otherwise before, my ex-fiance, Justin, he was a Bears fan. So we would go to Bears games all the time. I would sing at the national anthem for tons of games for all sports. But, and now in Nashville, we're friends with the Predators. So I get to, and I never was into hockey. And now I'm like, I love going to games, and it's so much fun, and like rooting on my friends. Like it's just different.
Oh yeah, the Predators have taken over that city. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What's new for you? What's next for you? Fans that maybe like your music, like Stetson Bennett, what's coming up in your world?
I have a new album that I recorded actually last year, and I'm just, putting the finishing touches on it. So some new music should be out this year, but for sure a full new album next year.
Well, I need to give you a bit of credit too, because the first song that I danced to with my wife at our wedding was one of your songs. And it's not one of the, I guess, hits, so to speak, but Never Got Away. I think it came out in 2016. It was just really integral to the story that my wife and I had, where we were both coming from situations to where we didn't want the other one to let us get away. And so the lyrics were so beautiful and meaningful. So I credit us, me and my wife, for staying married, obviously, but I guess some credit has to go to you too.
I love that. Where do you guys live, by the way?
Athens, Georgia now, but we met in Auburn, Alabama, and she got some degrees there. I was working in local television.
Okay. I was going to say you guys should come to my show. I have my 15-year anniversary of my first album, Coco. I'm on the East Coast in October, but so if you guys want to come to a show, let me know. Love it.
Ooh, I may look. I have mooched off of people and connections and friends. I may send a follow-up message and say, Colby said, let's do this.
Do it. Look at a date and let me know. Would love to have you guys.
Awesome. Any final thoughts just about, like, I know people in the room kind of, I don't want to say they laughed at Stetson, but you kind of saw him say, he was a little bit embarrassed to say this or didn't know if he should because it was so the juxtaposition, I guess. Any final thoughts on just how this came to be?
I just think it's sweet. Like, like it is a song that is unexpected, and for him to be vulnerable and not care if people laughed or thought it didn't make sense. Like that's, they're used to the answer being probably a very like up-tempo hype song. And so I love that he was vulnerable and shared that, and he seemed so sincere. And I hope, it made me feel good, and I hope it inspires people just to speak their truth.
Well, he's already helped Georgia win one national championship last season, especially if he goes and does it again. I think you're going to have some Georgia fans in your corner for life for being part of his inspirations. So, Colby, thank you for joining us. It was so nice of you to do this on a whim for a sports interview. And forevermore, I'm calling Bubbly a sports anthem, whether you want it to be or not.
Well, thank you, Dane. I appreciate that. And it was nice talking with you.
Zero carbs beer is here. Introducing Bud Light Next. 0 carbs, 80 calories. Super crisp light beer. Bud Light Next. Brewed for what's next.
Everybody, welcome back to the second half of the Georgia Watch Along Show. I'm Radi Nabulsi. I'm joined by Dayne Young and former Georgia head coach Jim Donnan. We appreciate you joining us. It means a lot to us. Georgia's up 24-0 to start the game. We hope it ends 48-0, maybe 69-0, whatever. Just keep bringing the points up. Got me. You got me good. We appreciate you guys doing it. And if you would share this, and we saw the Bud Light Next commercial play. I want to show you the little close up there, the box, because I want to point out that it is 0 carbs. It is super crisp. It is fantastic light beer with only 80 calories a can. So hit them up when you get a chance.
Hey, if you're going to add something to my channel, you got to mute the mic because I was getting feedback from your computer mic.
Why so much? I thought I had to have it muted. My apologies. Anyway, folks, everyone that shares this, it means a lot to us. I know it's kind of a pain. We ask you to do it all the time, but we have grown exponentially since our first time doing this when we were happy to have like 3,000 viewers. Now we get tens of thousands, and we want to have hundreds of thousands. So please share it when you get a chance. Coach, your thoughts for the second half?
Yeah, I thought we came out really good on offense, defense, everything. Second half, a little just blah.
Second quarter.
Second half of the first half. That's right. But I can't wait to make a mistake so you can jump my ass. So
just trying to keep it clear to our customers.
Okay, yeah. Well, really, with second half is coming up, and really this third quarter, we got to get back and not make some of the bonehead plays that we made there. I don't think any of those plays were South Carolina related. We just, didn't execute with the efficiency we did in the first quarter. So it's a situation there where you're playing against your own standards, and we're going to get the ball to start the second half. I think if we don't try to get too cute as far as doing too many funky plays, and we can really run the ball on these guys straight at them. If we would run the ball 3 straight times, it would make a first down. Monken's doing a good job. Defense is doing a really good job of mixing up their fronts, coverages, tackling in space. They gave up essentially 2 pretty good plays by them. One was a long ball to Wells, and since then we set them down, and then they hit the ball to Stogner over the middle. I don't know why they don't come back to that, but
it was like their first play out the bat.
Yeah,
and they didn't do it again.
We just got a phenom there in Brock Bowers. I mean, he is such an outstanding player. It's hard to believe.
A sweep, a reverse, a handoff, passes, rushing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. What can't the kid do?
He's on special teams too. He covers punts.
I'm just saying, Brock for Heisman.
Well,
Thomas says South Carolina fans are leaving early.
I'm just telling you this. We've been working really hard on kickoff return. If this guy doesn't knock it out, we might take it to the house.
Kicks away for the third quarter. Georgia leads 24-0 on South Carolina.
Hold on your breath.
I'm holding. Come on, Kyrus.
Oh, he missed the block there. Carter.
He did.
That was Jalen Carter, the guy who's not supposed to play today. Somebody said. Who's the flag on?
I'm assuming it's the guy that put his
junk on someone's helmet.
Yeah, I was going to say nuts, but you can say junk. That's probably better.
Gonads.
Yeah, that was tacky. But Anthony Dasher showed a video, Coach, right before the half. He kind of filmed the stadium. It is not a full stadium anymore. A lot of people had better things to do in South Carolina this afternoon.
Wait a minute. On Georgia.
Yeah, that's a big play for you there.
Georgia blocking out of bounds, Coach.
Mark, I sent the photo to Coach Donnan. He saw it earlier, so thanks for sending that.
Yep, it's cool. Who did they call that on?
I guess Nolan Smith. That's who was on the screen.
Here, I can find that real quick. Let me go back to her.
14:52, third quarter.
This is one of the few times that we've run conventional looking formation here.
Traditional handoff. Oh, wow. That takes
Traditional result.
Yeah. I was just saying it's.
I mean, that was a good burr. Let's see what they're talking about. What Shane Beamer was saying.
She's talking about Stetson Bennett.
Kirby thinks everything.
He does.
Brought her own air conditioner.
That's so cool. I love football, man.
Hey, you got to spend that $45 million on something.
Like somebody put that on a truck and hauled it over.
But here's the thing: I've been to that stadium, and it is hot as nine hells over there half the time. The fact they're getting away with what the Athens, Georgia weather folks said, like 82 degrees, that's great. But usually, when this is your first, second, third game of the year, or your first SEC opener, you go to Columbia for a noon game, you expect it to be 98 degrees and guys having cramps everywhere.
Yeah.
Second and 3, 14-20, 14-19. There's that trips up Darnell in motion now.
Run it again, Coach?
Yeah, you should. Go at the soft spot. That's smart.
So was that two motions to clear out that side?
Well, he wanted to see where hopefully the linebacker would run out, and he did, and it just a soft spot. Really not statistical. I mean, they've made 8 first down. I had no idea they made that many, but third down conversion is really critical. 4 out of 6 against 0 out of 5.
And he threw the pick, so third down and the interception.
That is.
Well, will we run it 3 straight times, or we got to throw it? There it is.
What the? Oh my God! He murdered
Come
a
on,
man.
get a block.
He murdered a man. Jesus.
They used to call me Mr. Touchdown. They used to call me Mr. T. I can run and I can catch. Give me the ball and call me Fletch. Hey, that was good fake by Stetson, but unbelievable run by the BB guy. He got 3 touchdowns now.
There was so much going on in that play. I was watching Dejon Edwards go out to the flat, and I didn't even see that open up. He murdered him.
Hey, good job by McConkey getting in front.
Yeah.
That's your basic 90-yard touchdown drive. Way to come out and get the answer, man.
You know,
oh, he knocked him down on the damn.
Come on, don't.
You know his high school coach that did not get the senior year of Brock Bowers playing for his team. It's just got to be furious. Just with I mean, come on. A global pandemic took him away from me his senior year. He's special. Both parts of that connection, Stetson and Brock. And McConkey for getting down there to throw
This is what's bad here. He gets knocked down by bump by Broderick Jones. We didn't see it, but I really was thinking that we were going to see that same kind of action to Darnell, but that'll come. You fans that think that we're going to let off on the gas pedal, just stick around.
No, that was brutal.
Jeremy says there's the big home run play I've been wanting to see.
All right, Jeremy, you and I both.
That's a bucket. The coach, you're talking about not letting off the gas. That reminds me of our friends over at Yancey. If you were driving one of those big bulldozers or steamroller or something like that you bought from Yancey, and all of a sudden you have an issue, you need somebody to go out and fix one. They have openings for people who can fix diesel engines. They need technicians. They need mechanics. They need people who can handle that. And
but they'll train you if you don't know how, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Don't steal my thunder.
No, I'm not. I'm just wanting to ask you.
No, that's right. That's what I'm saying is you're like, well, I don't know how to do that, right? I'd like to do it, but it's just that's not my skill set. Well, check it out. There's there's Athens Technical College, Chattahoochee Technical College, and West Georgia Technical College. All of them offer a certificate and diploma programs, these Georgia Technical Colleges where you can get trained, and these programs are supported by Yancey Brothers and Company. So they hire top graduates, and they even have internships. You go, well, dude, that might take a little longer than I want to do. The 2-year program at, say, South Georgia, even though I get $8,000 worth of tools and toolboxes, I don't want to do 2 years. Well, they have a boot camp. It takes 4 to 5 months. It's an accelerated program. It's a 5-person team led by an instructor. It's hands-on, in-shop, combined with classroom training. So they're going to teach you structured weekly learning goal. Again, $4,500 in tools and toolbox stuff.
You go online, and what do you do then?
Yeah, just apply for that. Jump into that technician boot camp. You'll see it right there on the sign on the page. That's yanceyBrothers.com/dogs. It's a full-time position with benefits. So you're thinking, well, if I'm going to school, how do I get paid? You get paid by going to the boot camp and benefits. And then you get a raise when you complete it. So in 4 or 5 months, not only do you get paid to go to school, they give you a raise. And then they
got to believe that they really want you to.
Yes.
They're going to put that kind of investment in you.
Right.
They're going to put it to you. So
exactly. Then
once you get associated with a company like that, I mean, you're looking at a lifetime. We got
there's more to it.
Takes it in here today. All right, I'm sorry.
There's the Yancey trainee program. It's a 9 to 12 month program. Now these are positions available in most locations, so you don't have to they're all over the place. You basically learn by being a second set of hands. You go with somebody else who's showing you what to do. And so you're basically assigned to
along.
Exactly. You're assigned to a mentor, an experienced technician, and they teach you how to do it on the job site. Again, it's another full-time position with benefits with a pay raise upon completion. So keep your foot on the gas, go with YanceyBrothers.com and become rich.
Georgia just kicked off with 13-21
No, he didn't
left.
hit that one very good, but it was a line drive, but it didn't go out of the end zone.
We do have a super chat. Thank you to UGA Chris M. Says
Chris.
Stories and jokes. Get them ready for the fourth quarter, Coach.
All
Appreciate all you guys do. Chris, thanks for supporting us and being a fan of the Watch Along show from UGA Sports.
I'm going to have to Google clean jokes. All coaches are naughty.
Yeah.
Watch this murder. Watch this. Murder.
I just love how McConkey stays with this to go down and block. They cut it off before I could see.
Murder. Nolan Smith with a murder.
Nolan Smith. How many points is out of hand?
You're not even playing Carter much. I mean, just letting him.
How was Stetson like 4 years older than Bowers, and Stetson has the better hairline?
Oh, now we're critiquing the hairline.
What else do you want me to do? I thought George just played a great game. I'm not going to critique.
Apparently, Hot Mike caught Kirby Smart roasting Shane Beamer.
Roasted him? What do you mean?
So apparently, this was earlier in the game. Yeah, Kirby Smart was screaming "first down" and then a bad word the other way, directed towards the South Carolina bench, following the fourth down stop or something. Tell you, Kirby is geeked up about this game.
Third down, first down.
He's going to coach it like it was a.
We really did a poor job there.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a first in 3 years, 3+ years, almost 4 of doing the UGA Sports Watch Along show. We have our first super chat in pounds.
Hey.
So I'm assuming this is from Britain. Matthew Cotton says, "Thanks, gents."
Oh.
Matthew, thanks for watching.
Thanks, Matt. That makes my day. That really does. Can't wait to tell my wife. She'll get a kick out of that.
Now I need to understand
be
the
careful
conversion.
about missing tackles here now. I mean, we missed a couple tackles.
Yeah.
See what they're trying to do this half is throw the ball quick in the flat because they know they can't protect. I still don't know why they've only thrown one ball over 20 yards and they completed it.
11:35, 11:34, 11:33.
We're off the receiver. I like that.
Yeah. Don't get you.
He'll throw it up for grabs now.
He needs to fake an injury right about here, Coach. He's not having a good day. He needs to be able to say, "Oh yeah, I'd have done a lot better if my ankle wasn't tore up." Spencer Rattler right now is 12 of 21, 57% completion rate.
What are you getting there, Pop?
He'll get to build up his stats the next 2 weeks. They're at home against Charlotte and then South Carolina State.
Oh yeah, that'll be 3-3 or 3-2.
Then they host Kentucky, or they go to Kentucky.
I think they're gonna be playing Vanderbilt for last in the league. Maybe Missouri's in there. Okay,
Ooh, Pop.
He's out of bounds. Way to pressure, man.
you were saying, why wouldn't they run that play again? Well, at least they called it.
No, they didn't throw the long ball to Wells.
Oh, I got okay.
That's
sorry.
a back. They tried to pull the Florida play, but we had it covered with a safety because, actually a linebacker.
Yeah, small ball.
We're in position all day today. Watch the fake here.
Yeah,
He's got an arm.
he does have an arm. Got a better arm than your quarterback.
Another guy passed it. 32 passed it instead of. God knows.
Oh man. Yeah, got
heads up by McConkey to fall on it. He saw that happening.
Well, that'll be a key teaching point.
Yeah.
Stay away from the ball, man. Good job, lad.
Lump Dog says Rattler with the loser's limp.
See, that's exactly what I was talking about.
You and Lump Dog.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Kindred spirits.
I got that. I'd have been so much better if my ankle wasn't hurting me or something. About to be 38-0 probably.
First team offense come back out? I think so.
I'm just telling you right now, our first team offense will play the whole third quarter. And you can Booker T. Washington that. It's not because of anything except
bragging rights.
No, just want to get after their ankles.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Second team offensive line's pretty good now. And Beck's good. All of a sudden you go in your second receivers are Don Blaylock and Delp, and we haven't hardly even seen any
Dylan Bell
or Nylan Marset or guys like Kenny McIntosh, zilch today.
Yeah.
One
catch for 14 yards. He's targeted twice, and then he has 4 carries for 20 yards.
Oh, I didn't realize he'd run it that much.
Kendall Milton has 7 carries for 20 yards. Stetson Bennett has 2 for 25.
Mr. Stats, the guy's a general manager and stat man on top of everything.
Stetson Bennett, 14 of 21, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Should have had another one.
Yeah.
Well, we know that they want him to get 300 yards and above, right? Based on the Samford. He got to 300 and then they pulled him.
I think it'll be more like 400 before they pull him today.
Yeah, give him his first 400-yard one.
How can Brock Bowers not get the John Mackey Award for the best tight end in the country?
Well, they didn't give it to him last year. It pissed me off.
I know he didn't, but he did make the Walter Camp All-American team.
Yeah.
Which is a great honor.
NFL teams are just salivating, thinking, oh, there's a Kelsey, there's a Kittle. We need that.
Got another year, though.
I know.
Yeah, but they were looking at Big Darnell thinking, another Tony Gonzalez.
He's not like the fluid athlete.
He ain't athletic like that.
Yeah.
Tony Gonzalez played college basketball, man.
I'm just saying.
He's good.
Big old body.
But, we wouldn't have a
block and catch.
We wouldn't have a show if we didn't argue a little bit. But he's not.
Well, he's no Kyle Pitts. He's a much bigger,
that's what
bulkier.
But Bowers is like Pitts.
Exactly.
The University of Pittsburgh cheer, don't you?
No.
Under the arm, Pitt.
Go over these things.
Then South Carolina's right there. Nuts and bolts. We got screwed. Elevator. We got the shaft. When I get old and I can't see, I want to be a referee.
No, but your parents were married, so that can never be one of those.
There we go. Play action.
11:02, third quarter.
Nice run.
Yeah.
Check of scores around the country. It's pretty chalky so far. Cincinnati 24, Miami, Ohio 17. That's in the third quarter. Missouri 24, Abilene Christian 3, third quarter. Kentucky leads Youngstown State 28-0 in the third.
Tyshawn Wanamaker.
Oklahoma 42, Nebraska 7, third quarter.
Go on, Milton.
He's still running timid, Coach. Not timid, but just not with that authority they did last week.
A little more quickness there, and he had a first down.
Yeah.
Let's go quick here and run his own read and keep it. We're going to miss the call here while we're showing Tyshawn Wanamaker.
No, they got that clip. There it goes. That's
Boy,
first down.
We got some big old boys up front now. You letting Delp play for Washington?
Brock Bowers, 5 catches, 121 yards. and
Going
2
empty,
touchdowns.
try to hit the wheel.
Bennett's pocket presence is just so smooth.
well, he's been doing it for
I don't
17
know-
years.
I don't know how they keep up with who's in the game. I can't keep up with them.
Morissette was in there and just trotted
It's
off.
really poorly produced. They've got you got somebody in the truck that's going camera 6, camera 5, camera 4. You just throwing the thing all over the place because they want to use their setups. It's too boring to actually show the real game to the producers.
You got it.
Nice move there. That's great. There you go, Tayshaun Edwards.
That's some authoritative running.
That's the kind of quickness to the outside. That's very nice.
Colquitt County Packers.
Well, if you can play for Colquitt County, you can play for anybody. I remember going down there, seeing their field house one time. Like, this is a high school field house?
Throw it to Darnell. I guess they're letting Bowers rest now.
I would. I'd set it. You up 31-0. It's like,
I don't
okay,
think
everybody
that-
else.
I don't think everybody knows what this play is. Throwback.
Kendall Milton.
Oh,
That was
he
ugly.
still hesitated just a hair. I think if he,
That was ugly, wasn't it?
that was that's beautiful.
Threw it to the back after faking to him.
Well,
Look at Bennett's head. Drill. I believe you could have hit that one, Dane.
I'd be embarrassed if I couldn't, but, I'm glad I don't have to.
I'd have hit Darnell Washington in the back of the helmet because doink.
He'd have caught it.
He probably would have.
Here comes Morissette in motion.
Yeah.
Counter. I like us pulling the guard and tackle. Did you see that?
I did not.
They'll show that to you on film, don't lie.
No, they will. I don't think we'll see the replay though. Kirby's just going
Kirby just
gas. Oh, get out of this way.
I mean, at what point can he strike the Heisman pose? Because he's in the race.
that's pretty slick right there now.
That was.
That was slick as a baby's ankles. Watch this, man. He's got him cold.
Whoop! Jesus. Hey, I'm gonna look see. Hey, can you do an eBay search? See if they can find some gently used ankles, because somebody needs some new ones.
Oh, this time last year. Well,
What
really?
are you
That's just rude.
38 and out the gate?
When we had to explain to people how good an athlete he is, his mobility helps Georgia.
Dude, I took
Do
so.
y'all remember that?
Dude, I took so much post game.
But somebody said he couldn't start for anybody in the SEC.
Well, and I don't remember who it was, but somebody in the media called said he had a pop gun arm. I'm like, and just he wouldn't start anywhere else in the SEC. He's a walk on.
I mean, anybody if you just came in here and didn't have any kind of affiliation with any team, and you watch this guy, you'd say, "Holy moly!" I mean, look at all the plays he's made today. Jump around the guy and throw it over his head. right there just pulled the guy's pants down there. I mean, it's a really bad mismatch here physically, but that was a 90-yard march there, wasn't it? We've had two 90-yard marches. Is that?
Yeah, and the drive chart.
Where we start there? Maybe the first one we were on the 10. Maybe that wasn't quite as far. If we'd have had a good second quarter, we'd have had 50 by now.
Start from the 12, Coach.
Oh, 88 out the gate.
Yeah. That's embarrassing.
You know, if you had Dandy Don on the old Monday Night Football turned out to lie.
Again, I don't want to come across like a Stetson Bennett's a cult hero, but what I tried to get across last year was you're going to tell me, and then it's based on Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart's watching practice, and he sees JT Daniels and Carson Beck and Stetson Bennett. And JT Daniels has an issue, and Carson has an issue, and Stetson has, his issues. Like he says it. Kirby said, he does some boneheaded plays, and we've seen one or two of those. But he's like,
do some boneheaded coaching. Coaches do it.
Well, everybody does. But my point being, who the hell does anybody think they are? And again, I don't just give all coaches
your quarterback, your coach.
Well, I'm not gonna say, hey, they can't be second guessed, but I'm like, just knowing how badly Kirby wants to win a title. If JT Daniels was the better quarterback, he'd play him. If Carson Beck was the better quarterback,
even going into the playoffs, some people said we need to move and put
absolutely.
And then after the game,
I'm
talking about after the Alabama game. But
I get it. But to my point being is when you
look at this.
Kirby's and Todd Monken wants to win, and Will Muschamp wants to win.
I opened up the box. I opened up Pandora's box. We're back at it.
No, I'm just saying. But my point being, a lot of people, I don't want to come out with a "I told you so." My whole thing last year was,
I do.
Kirby said, "This is the guy who gives us the best chance." And again, it may have been maybe a 2% chance more than the other guys, but I'm like, he's not going. But everyone said, "Well, he screwed up the from Fields thing or whatever." I'm like, oh well, even if he did, which I disagree with. Maybe he learned from that. So, and now he looks like a genius for going with him because you see how well
Seriously, look at his last 5 games.
Yeah. Hey, we have a super chat that I need to get to. This is from Remy. Thanks for that. Remy says, what was the evaluation on Lavoisier Carroll? I keep hearing about running back depth. Why was he moved to defensive back? What was I missing? He says, go Dogs. Reminder, Lavoisier Carroll is on South Carolina's roster.
Exactly. But, look, when he came in here, we were loaded up at running back. He had good speed. But here's a chance to cover a kickoff for Georgia, and we didn't cover it very well.
No.
Been used to – there's Pod with a tackle. We've been used to kicking out of the end zone. Hopefully they got a block in the back. But Lavoisier Carroll, a highly recruited guy at IMG, came here. We needed defensive backs. And so we put him over there, and he was fast. But he probably would help our running back depth. Now, he's exactly right. But that's – after the fact, it's hard to know. But when everybody knows last year we needed corners.
Appreciate your support, Remy.
Remy, you the man. I wonder if they're going to put Doty in the game. Save Rattler for the
big Charlotte game next week.
Charlotte's lost like 6 in a row or something, haven't they?
They were on a run a couple of years ago. And really falling off.
They're on a run the wrong way right now. No. They lost to Bill and Mary.
Georgia pressed on the line again, Coach.
Oski.
Oh
yeah, Jackson.
Dirty Dan.
Everybody in the stadium love that kid. Watch him over there.
Watch the sideline going bonkers.
Jackson. Hey, he's
put him on scholarship.
Look at Stark right beside him too.
Those kids love him now.
They do.
He's the perfect exoneration of I don't even know.
Hell's everybody in Hall County loves this kid.
This guy just does everything.
This is just anger here, Coach. Look at this. No. That's a 50-50 ball if you've ever seen one. Look at that. Both guys got it wrapped up. This is who wants it more.
Happy for Dan. Look at those kids around him. Oh, we're already going with Beck. Surprises me. Good for Beck.
So Stetson Bennett's final stat line: 6 of 23 for 284 yards.
How many?
16
Okay.
for 23. Thank you, Coach. 16 for 23, 284 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. And then I have him.
He's going deep too.
Oh, there.
Interference.
That's got to
What?
be PI. There you
I was
go.
about to- Oh, he's going to try to wave it off. Look, I didn't call it.
Dylan Bell.
You pulled him down by his shoulder pads.
That ref there is trying to wave it off.
He's like, no, it wasn't. I saw it.
What else can you?
It happens right in front of you. Well, yeah, he doesn't see the pull, Coach, from where he's at.
Yeah. Exactly. Good throw by Beck.
Yeah.
What y'all don't know is this. I'm talking about South Carolina. This guy's got a Tommy gun arm now. He's gonna air it out too. He ain't gonna be like running some of that high school stuff where they run the clock out, and then they're gonna put Vandergriff in. He's gonna run around. I predict we score 4 more times today.
Wow.
It's only 6:50 in the third.
I said 55-9, and mine was
We got 22 in there. Good back.
There goes Branson
He's
Robinson.
He's going to run the ball right back this way.
He ran the ball right
How
back
did you
this
do
way.
that?
I don't know, just lucky. I've been coaching a little while, but good-looking kid now. I mean, that guy looks like Nick Chubb. He's not as quick, but he can bench everybody in the stadium. Look at those guns.
Well, there's nobody left in the stadium, Coach. That's not really impressive.
They're going out to those cockabooses and have a few.
Hey, those things are cool.
They are nice.
They are really nice.
I wonder if they're air conditioned.
Nice one. Nice dig.
I hope we will relax here so Kirby can relax. He's going to be so intent right now.
Well, good run. That's it.
Because he's going to be worried about the defense doing something.
Yeah. Well, I want to point out, if you're on the other side and you're up 38-0 and you see Carson Beck haul off and throw 160 yards.
This is play action.
Oh, how did you?
Back to Delp. Wow.
That's a pretty dang good throw for Carson there.
Do you know how much of a flex it is to go on the road in the division, in conference,
Well,
obviously?
there's a guy like Ryan Godey's in the game. Oscar Delp last year was in high school, gets his first touchdown.
Yeah.
And his mother's probably going crazy right now.
Nah, she was awesome.
He was flexed out like Bowers.
Yeah.
We could hit. Look at the kids. I like our unity over there, don't you?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, of course, you can always.
Every team will have little clicks on it, but
I mean, everybody, like the way it was for Dan Jackson there.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirby's going to get this kickoff team and chew their ass right now.
Coachable moments.
That's fantastic.
You know what shot Jesse James?
What shot Jesse James?
A 44, and you add 1 to it, 45. Little wheel route. There's some people disguised as seats there.
But again, that's what I said right before this one was when you're out there and you're up 38-0 and you see Carson Beck launching 60-yard passes, you're like, this game is not going to be over anytime soon.
No, they'll let these guys keep throwing.
Coach, I want to go back. Let me find something for you here.
462 yards to 170.
You can't beat those smiles. So you wanted to be a Gamecock today. Did Stetson end up with 300 or what?
No, he's shy of 300, but he's responsible for 3 touchdowns. Well, I guess if you add up his rushing to it, he has 284 passing yards, 36 rushing yards.
So
2 touchdowns and 1 running.
Correct.
So we'll call that 300 all-purpose yards.
Let's see what this Affleck question
Boy,
is.
there's a lot of Red Georgia fans.
Who holds the Georgia single-game record for most sacks by a defensive back?
Well, I know who that is.
You're going to say Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smart.
It's got to be.
In his first game of his career against South Carolina. Here's another clue. It was in his college debut. That's why you watch us and read UGASports.com. We told the people this midweek.
Letting him roll out now.
I made the point that Kirby Smart.
Look at the stands right there.
Wow. He likes Sam Pittman. He likes Dan Lanning. He likes Chris Hatcher. But he beat those three guys when they were across the field from him by a score of 119-3. You think he's not going to put it on Shane Beamer? Even if he liked him, even if they were best friends, he's like, hey, I'm still going to try to shut you out and score 60.
So Kirby Smart getting those sacks.
Those little hold downs.
Yeah, just a little relentless.
The shoulder pads took up an acre back then.
That was a suplex.
5'10", 5'09", 5'08", third quarter.
Tackle. Got a lot of young guys in it.
Yeah, Warren Brinson, Chad Chambliss.
Was he down or not?
I thought he was, but he might have been sitting on top of another guy. Guy wrapped him up around the waist and sat back with him. So
They're probably going to score in this game.
I predicted they'd kick a couple field goals or maybe three. I don't think they scored a touchdown.
We got some guys back there, not real veteran in the secondary.
Yeah.
Syracuse takes a 1-point lead on Purdue in the third quarter.
Whew. Swarm that football, Brinson.
We'll be question heavy in the fourth quarter. So if you have questions for Radi or for Coach Donnan or
maybe about the Oscars or the Emmys and all, you're interviewing people in Hollywood. They should ask you some stuff.
Hey, I got bored with y'all, so I had to go.
Y'all can ask me some cooking questions. I'll make some stuff up.
Cooking? No.
Teach you how to make some Arabic food.
Coach, you're saying you just got a shout out from Sean McDonough on the broadcast.
What did he say?
Y'all tell me what he said because we could not hear. I'm assuming it was in the conversation after the.
Jim Donnan got beat over here a couple of times.
Yeah. What the hell is he doing with Quincy Carter?
Oh God.
Marvin Jones Jones Jr. almost got there.
Go for it, Shane.
Why wouldn't you?
Hey, there is no quarter given, none expected.
What they're going to do is fake the run and throw it in the flat.
Michael.
They got 13 in the game.
Why are we showing
There's
Todd
Coach
Monkey?
Todd Hartley over there, too.
Yeah, that was odd.
Fullback.
Wow, I don't think he made it, Coach.
He may have got it on the lean.
Oh, wait, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a first down.
Kirby's like,
challenge his spot.
Kirby's like, that's some bull. Kirby's like, I'm not.
Nate Atkins running the ball. That's Coach Greg Atkins' son. I'd challenge that spot. Call timeout. You can challenge it. Coach's challenge.
$214, $213.
Pick.
Oh.
God, of all the things that happen to you, run on the
Jesus.
sideline, run into Jalen Carter.
And Stetson Bennett.
Josh says, Coach, they were saying that you are there for Kirby Smart and that you still live in Athens today. Can confirm.
Did Stetson get hit?
Yes, the guy ran into Stetson on the sideline. Kamari Lasser did.
Can confirm what?
That you live in Athens and that you're there for Kirby Smart.
Yeah. He doesn't need me.
He needs you in the booth calling these plays. You know what's happening before the defense does.
Get some support here. Great God Almighty, make the tackle.
She was like, he was not. He didn't go out of bounds there. Back up, back up.
That's terrible by us right there. I hate for them to score.
Got a question from Jack's dog. He says, "Hey, Roddy, do you think both coaches would agree to a 12-minute fourth quarter?"
Kirby wouldn't.
Running clock.
He wants to play everybody.
Yeah.
He did it last week, but they won't great. Don't line up off sides here, whoever that was.
Ingers Dawkins has been close, as has.
Great play there, Sherman.
There you go.
I saw him at a practice earlier this year, and I was just like, man, Sherman is
He's
just built different.
Giant.
I mean, physical freak. TV doesn't do it justice.
Look at those athletic-looking kids, though. I mean, Kristen Miller is Bear. What's Bear?
99. I
mean, good-looking athletes.
Christian Miller's dropped some weight.
Still playing Malachi. This has got to be some kind of rollout pass. We're gonna miss it on TV though. He's gonna sprint out here and throw it in the flat.
4th and 3.
There's a sprint.
He went throwing the flat, but Georgia covered, so he's running. At least took a hit from Dan Jackson, but there is a flag.
Please be holding. Please be holding.
Yeah, the guy's got the. It wasn't me, coach. Look on him. It wasn't
good.
Me.
They
it
got
wasn't
a punt.
Blindside block.
Yeah.
I don't see that one called often.
Well, they got a punt now.
It's new. But yeah, he was the one that was walking. I mean, he immediately was started doing the. What do you want me to do, coach? You know, so. See.
It's illegal as heck.
Yeah.
We had him pretty well covered here. You can just see he's not. They talk about him being he's not a runner. Watch him. I mean, he doesn't want to run. I just don't see him being a pro quarterback. Do you?
I do not.
Timothy says, I love this guy's coach is like listening to Tony Romo and Larry Munson in the same body.
Yeah, old Tony.
Oh.
He had Karras back that time. Put Vandergriff in, see what he can do.
Like Brian Smith, I tweeted out Stetson Bennett for Heisman. He said they should just call it the Steisman.
Joe Theismann?
No, just the Steisman instead of Heisman.
You realize that Joe Theismann's name was actually Joe Theismann in high school?
He changed it for the campaign, right?
And he came and visited NC State, and I was his host.
Really?
And it was between us and Notre Dame, and he went to Notre Dame because they got some Budweiser guy like Leon Farmer got him a good job up there and paid him more money. But I did a good job for him, but I'm going to tell the story about what happened. Come on, break it there, Tom. Other boy.
Oh, Branson Robinson puts his head down and gets some
So
yards.
back then they had these places like these go-go, places where these girls were up in there. They had clothes on, but they were doing these go-go boots and stuff, and took him to that place. And I thought that this other guy was going to take him home, and he thought I was going to take him home. So we both left.
Oh, no.
And the next morning, I asked him, that other guy, how it went. And he said, I don't know. I thought you took him home. I said, well, you did. I said, what did he? So I went running up to his room. He said, hey, everything went okay. He said, I got one of these go-go girls to take me back. So Joe Theismann was Joe Theismann from Toms River, New Jersey.
Wow.
And I was his official visit host. And then that other good they had another good player there that came along. It was that great receiver for Dallas, that the African American kid. He played quarterback there, but he ended up going to Tulsa and then played for the Cowboys. Caught all those deep balls. You remember who it was? Skinny guy.
No.
Yeah, I was Joe Theismann's official visit at the go-go place. Learn a lot of stuff.
I bet you did, yeah. So did you ever take one of those go-go girls home?
No. Not me.
Well, you were married by then, weren't you?
No, I'd never even been in that place. Bill Morrow took me, another guy, and I said, I'm not. Yeah, I was married. I went back home, but I'm just telling you now. Our coach, Earl Edwards,
Richard Allen says, "Are you trying to get the name Drew Pearson?"
Drew, good job, Richard. Drew Pearson played in the same high school as Joe Thiesman at Toms River, New Jersey, and then he was the guy after him. One of them was before or after. I don't know which one was first. LeBron James. Did I ever tell you that story about the time we got a story. I was on the bus up at ESPN going to get a national rent-a-car, and I asked this guy who was a pro basketball guy, what's going on? What are you doing? Because we were just finishing up the year doing a recruiting show. It was like in January. He said, I've been out in Ohio watching a high school all-star game. I said, really? What are you doing? You pro basketball guy? He said, well, they got this young guy out there named LeBron James, and if he really gets where he can shoot, he's going to be a good pro player. That's the first time Dayne ever heard of LeBron James, and he certainly done pretty good 18 years later.
St. Vincent, St. Mary's.
He was a good high school wide receiver.
Could have been a tight end if he wanted.
Yeah, he was going to Ohio State. I saw where his son made an official visit to Ohio State for basketball. Bronny.
Well, we had Dominique Wilkins' son here the other day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dominique from Washington, North Carolina. Yep. First speech I ever made, Washington, North Carolina.
I remember we talk about LeBron. I remember getting the Sports Illustrated with him on the cover as a high school student, and I'm like, what the heck?
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing? Are you guys insane? But yeah, sure enough. Shout out to him. Marty Knox is a liar.
What we got?
This question made me laugh because it's obvious of what the score is. So Curtis Maximus, he says, "What's Radi's current outlook on the housing market?"
I got one for you. Everyone's talking about how the housing bubble is going to burst, and I don't think so because I just don't think there's enough inventory right now to offset it. So
I mean, if you can find a house for sale in this town for any kind of, I mean, it's definitely a seller's market.
No, we were looking in West Point area. My wife was, and it's like there's nothing down there. There's just not inventory. So I think it's going to stay red hot there.
Carson Beck with a keeper and the shoulder.
Carson Landon Wood.
He's showing a little. I mean, that's impressive.
That's what he needs.
Everyone there is surprised.
If that's working with him, wait till Grant Vandergrift gets in there.
Foster Moss says Carson.
Look at that second team line. Look at those guys: Willock, Wilson, Erickson, Mims. I mean,
Jesus, God, Wilson. Look at the beef.
Where's the beef?
It's right there.
A little bit too funky there.
They fooled the cameraman there.
That's a good athlete there. That's a true freshman, Dylan Morissette. You even mentioned that he might make the trip, right?
Did.
So as usual, you're right.
I just throw
the ball to 8 and let him catch one.
1405, 1404, 1403.
Give him another one. Oh, they're just going
to just give it to Branson.
Yeah. That guy got a little giddy up in him.
We'll throw it to him after we get this first down.
Here's the thing for our fans that's good. All these guys in practice, that group right there, they're going against the number one defense the whole time when they're doing teamwork, except when they go scout team, they don't. So they got to be self-survival. These guys are blocking Carter and Smith and Logue and all those guys. So this is a walk in the park for them as far as, I mean, I'm sure South Carolina's got some players, but it's not like they're overmatched.
Hey, there's Austin Blasky.
I like the execution here, too. We hadn't had an offensive penalty.
Run behind Blasky.
He's going to go for it.
Oh, Oscar Dope again.
Completion to Delp.
I want to get Blasky and Dylan Fairchild in there side by side, Coach. I need one of them to tackle and one at guard. I want 2 state championship wrestlers side by side.
Probably get a holding penalty on the takedown.
But as the
look at the efficiency.
I love our wrestlers.
Look at the efficiency we're working with, though. Look at that alignment there. I mean, we look good lined up. We get the plays called. We're gonna run back to the left here and break it right there.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I can pretty much tell you that Blasky's in there.
Yeah, they
Jared
ran right
Wilson's
behind
in
him.
there.
Throw the ball once to Meeks.
I was going to ask you about him, Coach, because obviously he got more first-team reps with A.D. Mitchell not playing. Second team comes in, he still continues those reps. How do you make those decisions?
Yeah, but Rosemy and Bell and all three of them are playing about the same at that position. And he's going to go over the top to one of them here in a minute.
So you got Blasky and Willick setting up the edge.
Is that cash? Is that cash?
Cash money.
Somebody, I hadn't even never heard of him. Do you?
I put him on the list.
Hey, that kid can fly. I'm telling you, you got to know. I don't know how you knew about that guy, but he can fly.
Just the fact that he was going to actually, I put him on in our 3-2-1 as being a guy that would help out on special teams, but would also provide depth in the running back room.
I
didn't think he would get that far down the depth chart.
Look at these kids love it. You put him in there, but cash.
He's got real carries.
Hey, he's a player now.
This is a big day.
You can't believe how fast he is.
Give it to him again.
Oh, and he got the carry.
He's fast now.
With a stiff arm. Talking shit. He's talking smack. Look, they're excited for him.
Now I need Stetson to throw to Cash sometime this season. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Hey, Stetson singing or what's he doing over there?
Colby Catlett, man.
He's probably saying, I got that boom, boom, pow.
That starts on my toes and goes to my nose.
531 yards. I like to see Cash rolling.
Hey, I like Cash. I do like to see that Carson Beck actually getting some great time under center here, Coach.
You got 83 in there.
Showing.
And he got the ball.
This is a Cash. They're playing for Cash now. Good job. That kid made it. Spear has another first-year guy. Look at him hurrying up fast. Get out of the way, ref.
Well, you know, when Georgia took Cole Spear, a lot of people thought of him as like the next Ladd McConkey. Okay. Oh,
you don't have those Stetson moves back.
He knows it. He's like, why did I do that? I could have taken him. They're going for that 50 burger.
Yeah.
They're going to go for the 60 burger.
We put Vandegrift in. He'll run for big. Look at Willock. Look at it. Look at him behind. And look at right there. Seriously,
he's a freaking giant.
And then Mims over there, like.
Well, I'm saying Austin Blasky's a huge dude, but he looks small compared to Willock.
Mims is a Sequoia.
And Erickson's no midget.
Get up on the ball more, Mims. You're off the ball too far. You could call that.
Yeah, I was worried about that with Mims.
They got too many men on the field.
So
can't you get them lined up, Shane? You can't play with 12.
That's why Mims was so far deep, Coach. It's like they got too many guys coming.
Yeah, that defensive coach is going to get them over there and say, look, I think if we just widen them out a little bit, we'll be able to stop them. That was, you talk about a story, seriously. I think I might have told this 4 or 5 years ago, but you know, I was projecting that 77-0 score. We played them, Missouri, and you know how the coaches are in the press box and you go down at halftime, and sometimes the other team's guys are right there with you, you know. So I'm looking
all in the same elevator.
I'm looking at these guys, and I'm really not feeling sorry for them. I mean, it's 49-0 at half, but I'm just thinking about what they're going to say and everything to their team, and a little bit because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get my second and third team. So this guy's just a little bit in front of us. We've had the ball 7 times, and we scored 7 times. And this guy's a little bit in front of us getting off the elevator, and he's walking out of there, and he doesn't realize we're behind. He said, you know, I think if we'll just widen our end a little bit, we'll be all right. I said, yeah, widen him out, and our fullback's going to hit his head on the goalpost. I was laughing my ass off when I heard that. Excuse me. But, you know, I've been in elevators before with guys that you just really feel bad for them because, you know, their team's just not very good. But the best elevator I was ever in was when we were beating Nebraska the first time. And at Nebraska, the first year I was coaching, and we're coming down on the elevator, and, you know, you just beat Nebraska at Nebraska, and you go in the Orange Bowl, and you're getting ready to play for a national championship, and you feel like you could just knock that damn door open to go. I mean, it feels so good, boy. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking like this, but it's just you build up and you prepare and everything, and then you finally execute like that. Like today, to me, has been a thing of beauty the way our team's executed, except for a couple little flip up passes by Stetson. But we got the Kent State Golden Flashes next week, and I guarantee you, they got better players in South Carolina right now.
Hey, Remy hits us with his second super chat of the
There's
episode
nothing against
today.
South Carolina. It's just that what did he do?
Well, he said, I wanted to let you guys know, and this is in his second super chat, that I put a $100 bet in on Stetson 2 nights ago at plus 2,000 odds to win the Heisman. I'm feeling really good about it right now.
I'll tell you what, Bryce Young, you don't know what he'll do against Louisiana Monroe, but Stetson's got to be in it, particularly the way he's running right now. And the way our team, I mean, everybody's going to be saying we 1 or 2, you know. I say we're 1. Our line's so much better than Alabama's. This guy this morning at the pregame meal thought we actually had a chance. He's a good coach. He came in there from Western Kentucky and just doesn't have a lot of players. And when I'm talking, I'm not really belittling South Carolina. It's just the fact we're good, and I mean, you just don't have the players to match up with us. It's just the way it is, and you're probably not going to match up with many teams you play this year.
Coach, this defense is supposedly for. Wait a minute.
Cash, take it in.
Ooh. I do want to point out we're talking about Georgia about to score again, or at least this 3rd and goal.
Put Darnell in there and let him block for Cash.
45-0. I want to give a shout out to the defense for nothing, 0. I mean, they've given up 3 points all year.
Yeah,
it's not too shabby.
Who called timeout here?
I'm assuming South Carolina did.
What is his sleep score for who? Clayton White? He didn't get to sleep much this week.
Is this
He's not going to sleep much tonight, I can tell you that. You know how you have teams and you think you're going to be better than you are and all. We played Minnesota my second year at Oklahoma, and the Minnesota coach was John Gutekunst, who I'd coached against at Duke when he was he took Lou Holtz's place when Lou left and went to Notre Dame. And see this play here. It's going to be some kind of action here to Big 22.
So Denali Morissette goes across to get their look.
Touchdown.
Oh,
that should have been.
That's a great throw.
Yeah.
Denali Morissette dropped it.
Don't kick a field goal here, Kirby. Go for it. We'll see what Kirby thinks right here, whether he goes for it or kicks a field.
Look how empty that stadium is.
A lot of red.
Oh, yeah, you stopped him.
Yeah. Well, we got him.
With the old drop ball technique.
They coached that.
God almighty, Kirby.
Run the fake.
But anyhow, that guy was talking to me before the game.
Hey, look at the new kicker.
Oh, you're going to let – this is his first kick in college. Good
there
job.
Nice.
48-10.
Kirby. So anyhow, he was talking to me about how they, we really got a good team and feel good about us stopping the wishbone and all that, and everything.
Yeah.
I said, Coach, I'm just going to tell you right now, that big old kid you got playing strong safety, we're going to break his knees today. I said, I hate to tell you this, but we're really good. We were defending national champions. I said, we're really good, and it's nothing against you. But
right.
He said, well, we'll see, and everything. I said, I'm just telling you, that kid doesn't have a chance. Well, anyhow, it's 49-0 at half. We beat them 63-7. But after the game, he said, well, you knew what you're talking about. I said, they had this big old kid playing safety. I mean, our little halfbacks went out there and rolled him up. I mean, I felt sorry for him. But anyhow, what are we going to do here now? Are they going to put Luke Doty in the game, who's a very good scrambler, good running quarterback out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, that we looked at? I think he's a good quarterback. You know, he played some last year and he got hurt, but I'd put him in. He can't do any worse than Rattler has. Yeah, I'd just like the deep coaches. Hey, we stopped them.
Yeah,
nice drop.
I always like the guy that, when the defensive back hops up and he does that, like no-fly zone. I'm like, they've completed 9 passes on you today, buddy, and there would have been a 10th if the guy hadn't dropped it. And I'm not talking about that particular South Carolina guy, but it always drives me crazy in these 7-on-7s and games like that.
Exactly.
Or like a sack dance when there's a missed assignment and you get a sack, but you're still losing by 50 points. You know what else is? As much as anything that impressed me today is Beck. Yeah. Poise and a couple nice runs, but his touch has been, I mean, what is he? Missed 1 or 2 passes and he's dropped? Good for Beck. That's good for his confidence, And you absolutely need him. And he played well last week. Last year he got in there and threw that pick against UAB, and I think, but I'm telling you now, the guy has improved immensely, and so has Brock Vandergriff. Right. Surely they're going to put him in next, and I promise you, he will have a chance of scoring a running touchdown. That would be awesome. That would get him there. But tell us a little bit more about how you could get a job at Yancey. I need to talk about Athens Ford. We'll talk about how you get to buy a car and drink a beer while you're driving and while you're going over there.
Don't drink the beer while you're driving.
You do the
while you're driving over there with your buddy.
Coach.
Hey, you guys love to get on me, but
you do the analysis. I'll do the sales pitch.
Well, let them get in the back pitch. Let them get in the back seat, drink one of those crisp beers.
They drink a next beer in the back of your new Ford F-150. But hey, when you get a chance, swing by the Athens Ford Facebook page. They have some neat stuff over there you need to check out. I always mention their website where you can get the $500 discount for a military veteran or a $500 discount for a student.
Kicks away.
But check out their Facebook page because they always have some neat things like their 5-Star Friday reviews where they have somebody who's come through and given them a review 5 stars, and they put it up on their page. It's always a funny read. So check it out when you get a chance. Hey, look, they put up some graphics on MS Paint.
They knew they had to fill a fourth quarter. So they built up the graphics package with the Georgia bus, which according to what we just saw,
Mississippi State's going to be tough down there, boy. They looked good last week.
They did.
They have LSU tonight.
If anybody knows how to counter what Kirby likes to do on defense, it's a guy like Leach.
It's just not fun to play.
Exactly.
This is going to be hard on Kirby. This last 8 minutes with these guys in the game.
Woof.
There's a big play.
What did you just say?
Is that Luke Doty? That girl's getting a selfie down there.
Yeah, she's getting pictures taken with him.
I hope
he's going to be in trouble for that.
He can't do it.
It's on TV.
There's Doty.
Yeah.
Hey, put him in there. He's a good player. I don't want Spencer. It wasn't your fault.
It's never his fault, Coach. Nowhere to run to there. 1 yard gain. So Rattler ended 13 of 25, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, 118 yards, 52% completion.
Yeah.
It was Daylen Everett with a tackle on the flat.
Good player, freshman corner.
See, you told him, Coach, you can. He was committed to Clemson forever. You say, hey, Daylen, you can come to Georgia and also beat South Carolina.
Bear Alexander in, Bill Norton in.
This guy will run the ball.
Well, there he goes. You called it. And he's going to get a first down. Oh, no. Dylan Everett on tackle. Yeah, you got it right.
These freshman defensive backs, coach, they're just so long.
Yeah, I mean Humphrey, Singletary,
Pair of 5-stars.
and then you got Malachi Starks. You take for granted he's starting. He's not in there now.
Daylen Everett, probably one of the best secondary recruiting classes ever.
And with all of that length and all of that talent, and there's, I know that there's different positions, but Dan Jackson stays on the field. Says a lot about him.
Tackle.
Oof.
They're going to get a chicken shit touchdown on us. We got to hope for a turnover. I wish it'd turn it over so Brock could get in.
Amari Carmichael asked, what happened to Van at South Carolina?
I don't know. He had a good game. Is he in there now?
He's in there right now, yeah, 6.
Hey, you're right. He might be doing it here. They might throw it over here. Don't throw it on Everett. He'll intercept it.
So Marvin Jones Jr. on that tackle, another 5-star defender for Georgia.
Kind of gashing us here.
Yeah. Tresman Marshall with a big tackle there.
Ryan Davis in there.
What was the score at halftime? 24-0?
Correct.
So we doubled it up.
Yeah.
21.
Well, we came back. I said, let's see if we get 48-0.
Hey, that's
21 points in the
emotion.
third quarter.
All right, stop yourself, boys. Here we go.
Dude, if you're in front of Christian Miller and he's talking, so he'll make you laugh and jump off sides.
I always like that play. Snap it to him as he's not looking. Fell on the ball good. Look at him, got both arms around the tips.
Great technique.
No, it was. I mean, it sounds facetious, but
6 points of contact.
let's
go, Big Bear Alexander playing
Bear
that zero
over the ball.
technique. Look at him head up. Let's watch 99.
quarterback run,
and
draw,
zero.
quarterback draw or something.
Down to the 11. This is the portion of the broadcast where we discover what Kirby will be coaching from for the next week before Kent State.
I had to say something about them only going up 3 points so far. But
Gonna be a miracle if we hold them out. I'll tell you what, I'd like it to be like 4th and 10, and if they kick the field goal.
yeah. Well, yeah, just to avoid the shutout.
Just to say that.
But they got a good chance to score. They're gonna try to throw the fade over here, one side or the other.
I mean, when you had there it is.
Fade.
Play it 6.
Daylen Everett. Yes.
Wow, it's empty there.
That's what I was saying a second ago. I was
Like not even a single human in
No.
some sections.
I mean, you can start pressure washing the seats.
They gotta get.
I'd have the trash guys out there picking up.
They need to get Lou Holtz in there.
And that's the student section that's
They need
slam ass
Lou-
empty.
Wow.
What was that signal? My neck hurts.
We need to get Kirby Smart mic'd up.
It doesn't matter how hot it is. Glenn Schumann's wearing
We're
long
blitzing.
sleeves.
Oof.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Tresman.
Good job, Doty. Pick up the guy that speared you.
Great
practically.
sportsmanship after you throw a pick.
Yeah.
Tresman. What a play. That's a good call by Schumann.
And hey, Coach, you got to be excited for Tresman Marshall, another guy who showed up at Georgia and just had injury after injury after injury.
3
And
interceptions.
look at
for
it. It's
Georgia's defense.
Ryan Davis who comes through and makes that. Whew. Another guy who
What a catch.
had injury after injury. Those two guys, people were saying those two guys are bust, not from a not talented standpoint, but they couldn't be
Well,
healthy.
I mean, just hadn't been hurt, but
That's
you
it.
know, I just hope, please, Monken, let the guy run the quarterback keep one time and go for about 80, just because he's that good. Our 13 quarterback is the real deal now,
He's a
and our
5-star.
14 quarterback has had an unbelievable camp playing the other team's quarterback, Gunnar Stockton. I mean, he can jump around.
I'd rather have him than Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler, his stock is like, you know, those stocks that are climbing and the ones that are going down. I mean, his stock is lower than whale manure right now. Hey, welcome to the SEC. I just wish I had some of those interviews I had back in the spring when everybody was going crazy about Spencer Rattler. And I was saying, watch out.
That's what you do in the spring.
Well, I remember you on Feinbaum saying that you weren't a believer yet.
I never was a believer in him. But I've
He was
been
making
wrong
the
with
transfer from Oklahoma.
but I didn't like him at Oklahoma. I didn't like him in Arizona when he was in high school.
Yeah.
But I think he's a decent arm. But just he needs a. If he had a line like ours, he'd be a lot better. You know, their line is weak.
Fourth quarter, Southern Illinois 31, Northwestern 17.
That is a big upset.
Who goes to Lukey's?
That is a big upset.
5 minutes left in that game.
First,
Or is that Northern Illinois? Which ones are the Salukis?
Northern Illinois is playing somebody else. Southern
Southern
Illinois
Illinois is the Salukis. Northern Illinois is the Broncos.
Hey, I was sitting in the Southern Illinois. I was sitting in my office at.
I'm thinking of Western Michigan.
Listen to this, Shane. Dayne. I was sitting in my office at Missouri, and we were in there with other sports, you know, down the other end of the hall in this big coliseum. And Bob Shaw came by my office, and he said, "Hey, you want the head job at Southern Illinois?" He was a track coach. I said, "Come on, what are you talking about?" He said, "Well, my buddy's the athletic director at Southern Illinois, and their coach just took the job at Memphis, and he's looking for a coach. And he said he wanted somebody that knew the St. Louis area and everything, and he wanted a young assistant." And he said, "So I thought I'd ask you first." And I said, "Yeah." So he called him up, and next day I went over and interviewed, and I couldn't believe it. You know, I mean, it was such a difference, you know, after being in the bigger schools and seeing what they did and the scholarships. And I didn't act like I wanted the job enough, you know.
Yeah.
I was just hesitant, but I mean, the track coach, come in. Would you like to fill in?
You want to be that guy?
Come on, Brock, keep one.
433.
Give him a keep. Shit.
Oh.
Hey, let's do a score check on Georgia's next opponent.
Who's 22?
That's Branson.
Oh, that was Branson.
Yeah.
I thought it was Cashman.
No.
Final score, Kent State 63, Long Island University, the Sharks 10.
Hey, they got a good quarterback, Kent State, I'm telling you.
He was 10 of 12 for 199 yards passing, 2 touchdowns today. They ran for 353 yards on Long Island.
I'm glad they're showing that.
That's good coaching defense right there. Let him keep it.
That's my favorite play of the game.
If he keeps it, he's going to go. God almighty, keep it. God. I don't need to be upset here. This is a big win. But we're playing it close to the vest right here. It's not every day you play Long Island U. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's a nice pick. How about Syracuse off the 3-0 start?
They need something like that when you look at how terrible their mascot is.
If he hands it to him again.
He's passing.
Oh.
Jesus.
But, you know, if he weren't so short, he could probably complete that.
All right, well, bright side, a little punt practice. Right?
Why wouldn't he let him go on and do what he does, move around? That's okay. We're not going to hit 50 unless we intercept another one.
The line was 24.
I guarantee you they're going to try to block this punt. He's either going to get roughing the kicker or it's going to get blocked.
Yeah.
They're going to try to block it.
Here comes a gunner.
Good God, what a punt.
Got to cover. Well, I think I know why he found his way to Georgia.
Hey, that's a pretty good punt.
That was.
Give us some love.
And in the shade of his own end zone, Coach.
There's a cock commander, right?
That commander right there just lost his.
No, they wanted to be cock commander, and then they ended up with the general.
Is that what he is? The what?
The general.
He just got demoted to a sergeant today.
Oh. They should go with Cocky McCockface, but they wouldn't.
Coach, what is it? I'm trying to put myself in Will Muschamp's shoes today. What's it feel like to go in a stadium that you coached in, that you were one of the primary coaches?
It's different, for sure. When I was at North Carolina, I went over to NC State. Just different, you know what I mean? It's just bad feelings for. I mean, the bad feeling is you really don't want to be so fired up about beating your own players and stuff, but at the same time, I mean, they paid Will Muschamp what they owed him, so that's what happened.
Dave McMahon has a note for us. Says, without jinxing the team, the biggest blowout of Georgia over South Carolina was 40-0 in the first ever matchup in 1894.
Is that right?
Yeah,
that was before the Depression.
Yeah. Well,
now this is going to be Depression
that was
for
before
Will.
the 1900s. So, 1894, it was 40-0. That was the biggest margin of victory, biggest blowout. And now
I
you're
wonder
48.
what Shane Beamer is going to tell these recruits after the game.
I don't
That's
know.
always hard when you got to. Of course, I never was on a team like that.
Trying to remember that. Who was the defensive lineman that Georgia was after that went to South Carolina?
Birch?
The one from that private school?
Yeah, his mom came over here. She actually loved it, and I was prepared to do a.
We need to ask Will how much they paid him. He wouldn't tell us. No, they wouldn't pay him any money.
Mm-hmm. Never.
Seriously, this Georgia team is talented and everything, but it's well coached. I mean, you got second, third team players in there running a blitz like that, and the guy playing a middle technique as a third team linebacker, intercept the pass. Come on. Schumann and Muschamp have just done a good job of carrying on where landing, and then you got Kirby, and then you added that corner coach and the defensive end coach, linebacker.
Fran Brown and Chidera Uza-Deribe, two absolute stars.
They're going to do great in recruiting, too.
Yes.
Sandage is who.
Thank you, Sandage. That's when I was actually looking him up here.
Thank you, Chris and Jeff.
Yeah, Sandage.
Let's get a tough question here. I'm going to ask you a trivia question because I was at a baseball game last night and I thought of one. Who played for the New York Yankees, the New York Football Giants, the New York Rangers, and the New York Knickerbockers?
I have no
I'm
idea.
overthinking this.
It was Gail Goodling. He was the organist. He played for all of them.
Something like that. I'm like, who drove the bus? Damn you.
There's a keeper.
They got a score, Coach.
How did they get the ball on the 40? I thought
I was about to spit there. I was looking up. Like, wait a minute.
Did we get a penalty? Did we miss a play? I thought we kicked the ball longer than that.
They ran it back.
They
to
did
about
run it back.
50,
So
is what
So it was a 56-yard punt, but it was a 21-yard return.
They're gonna get
to the Georgia 45.
They're gonna.
No, Sherman's going to pick another one.
Good tackle, Marshall.
You mentioned organist. I'm going to give a shout out to Matthew Kaminsky, Atlanta Braves organist and Georgia Bulldogs baseball.
He's good. They do a good job in getting the crowd into it. He's good.
He looks through the lineup and tries to find songs that match just kind of name and wordplay with the opponent. So that's a fun game within the game.
Savian Sori in the game.
Less than 2 minutes left.
Jalen Walker's in the game too, Coach.
Good God, what are you covering over there? Who's 9? Is that Humphrey?
Yeah.
That is Jaheim Singletary.
Ooh.
Jalen Walker with a tackle. You're going to lose a shutout right here.
They got, unless they fumble, they're going to score.
They may have to call their timeouts to do it.
This is a good tackle.
Got him. They got him.
Good tackle, good coverage, buddy. Daniels?
Yeah.
David Daniels Sisfana.
He does that every day. There's Bear. Got to get Kirby fired up.
Darius Smith comes off the field.
It's the quarterback something funky here.
Pick! Oh! They had Darius Smith and warm-ups coach basically playing that star spot.
Well, he ends up being that if they don't have another defensive back. Is Tyke in there?
I haven't seen him, but I saw him on the travel squad, or wearing his
3rd and 11.
keffiyeh. It's a good Palestinian hat he wears.
What do you call it?
Keffiyeh.
Okay. Kirby's into it.
Kirby's reaction is as interesting as the play for ESPN as they go to the double box.
1:02 on the clock.
Penalty.
Touchdown. There it is. Yeah.
Go for 2, Shane.
You think he'll use that in a recruiting pitch? Way, we scored on Georgia. Most people don't.
We scored on Georgia's 4th team.
David Daniels made a good play to play before, but got beat there.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you play man.
There's your quarterback controversy for South Carolina.
Well, it doesn't matter. You can play quarterback the next 2 weeks.
No, just
Would you go 1 minute offense and try to score again?
No, he'll fall on it.
yeah, he'll take a couple knees just to get out of there.
I'd let.
I don't know why he would come up on that. It's a terrible read. He made a good play on the play before, but see that?
Yeah.
Too bad. Who was that caught it? Wells or?
That was
Travion Kenyon.
Yeah.
The coaching.
Yeah. He coaches as hard with 53 seconds on the clock as when there's
Some teachable moments
59
there.
minutes on the clock.
Teachable moments.
Hey, some students came back. We got angry towels.
Does that mean they're throwing them in after the game?
I did that long ago.
I told you after that second touchdown, Shane Beamer should have started waving one, and maybe Kirby would have called off the dogs.
See, I said 55-9 in my score predictions. I kind of want one
So
more.
you're terrible. What did I pick?
I don't know. Probably something closer. I think I had the biggest spread.
If they try onside kick here, I'm going to pass out. Surely they won't.
Well, coach, it's 53 seconds. If you do it, 7 times, you're right back in the game.
He'll kick it.
But you could actually practice it now.
Only thing they need to practice is getting back on the bus. Good kickoff. Want to remind everyone, we will be back here for the UGA Sports Watch Along show next week. It will continue
12 o'clock?
12 o'clock for Kent State.
Have you heard about Auburn yet, or
I don't think we have the start time for that.
or Missouri? Or probably play
No, we
Missouri.
won't find out till Monday.
Probably play Missouri at 11 o'clock Central out there.
Oh,
Missouri plays who next week? Because they won today. We're going to fall on the ball.
Missouri
Yeah.
plays at Auburn at noon. Thanks to Yancey Brothers and Bud Light Next and Athens Ford for being such good supporters of what we do. If you like this, please support the people who support us, because this does not happen without them being very kind and generous and saying, we like what you guys are doing. We see that the fans love it too. So we're going to make sure that that can continue to happen.
can you share that Yancey Brothers link again? Folks, go to Yancey Brothers /dogs and click on the open positions. If you enjoyed doing this watch
Yancey
along,
Brothers /LP/dogs, right?
yeah,
It's on the screen.
that'd be perfect. If you guys would hit that, I would consider that a
Let's
personal
watch
favor.
this right here at the end of the game, what they do.
Oh, they just shook for 2 seconds and moved on. It was that quick. If you look down, you missed it.
See what Kirby has to say.
Meant a lot to the players. Great atmosphere. We talked about all week playing the guys within the lines, not the guys outside the lines. I thought we started fast.
Your backups were in, but your defense finally gave up a touchdown. How much did that upset your starters?
Well, I think they want those guys to learn, and we're big on playing guys. We were playing some guys as early as the second series in the second half. They could get experience for us. It's unfortunate, but they want to let it get scored on. So the big deal for them is to keep trying to fight to do that.
Your players have said the expectation is to give up 0 points. What does that say about the standard here in Georgia?
That standard was created by a group last year, a group a couple years ago. When you have a great standard, guys want to flex to it. You have an expectation. Our guys work really hard during the week. I'm really proud of how they prepare offense, defense, and special teams.
You said this team hasn't been tested yet coming into today. How do you continue to improve despite being faced
that's
with
a
a
big
lot
win.
of adversity so far?
Practice really, really hard, and you find out who's willing to do that, and you don't listen to what other people say about you.
Great. Congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thank you.
Sean.
So a 41-point victory. Then we said the biggest victory previous in this series was 40-0. So
I wish my Spurrier impression was a little better.
48-7. So pretty good.
Well,
Now, folks, we're going to break out here, but real quick, just we will have the post-game overreaction show where I'll criticize everything that went bad today, and Coach will love that. But no, give us about 30 minutes. I got to get back to my house, get the lights turned on, and the Fiddler bourbon poured, and then myself and Paul Meharry and then all the other guys from UGA Sports will jump on at various points throughout it. But it is a call-in show, so if you want to join in, if you go to the description of underneath the video, in the description area, there's a link. Click on the link, and it'll turn your audio on, and you'll be able to be on the show with us. So check out the post-game overreaction show on this same YouTube channel, same Facebook page. Give us about 30 minutes from now, and be sure to tune in next Saturday at about 11:50. We'll be back. So
is this the kind of game where Elvis sends us home, or
I don't know. I mean, I just think I'm going to dedicate this song to Shane Beamer. Seriously. Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we couldn't score?
Oh, I knew this go to.
No, hey, Shane, you just don't have many players. I feel sorry for you. But you'll do the best you can with what you got. Yeah. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.